Here is a Global News update.
Good evening. A massive police search continues in Toronto tonight for a suspect in 3 murders and 2 sexual assaults. DNA evidence linked 20-year-old Adrian Kincaid to the slayings of 2 sisters, the murder of a subway worker, and 2 sexual assaults, all in the Scarborough area. Investigators searched an apartment today where they say that the suspect recently stayed, and police believe that a call they received last night was made by Kincaid. Global News has learned that Ottawa is using the barter system to acquire 4 submarines from England. Britain is giving Canada the submarines in return for the use of training facilities for British soldiers and sailors, including time on the subs. Some financing for the deal will also come from internal savings at National Defence. Ottawa plans to get rid of its 3 old submarines and 2 steam-powered frigates. A Russian skier and an American race official both suffered broken legs today after a frightening high-speed crash in Spain. The official crossed the course in the middle of the Russian downhillers' training run at the Alpine Skiing World Championships in Spain. The skier, who was traveling at well over 100 kilometers an hour, somehow managed to avoid a head-on collision, but clipped the official with her ski. Gene Principe now joins us for a look ahead to Sportsline. Gene?
Thanks, Jane. Coming up in a few minutes' time on Global, it'll be the Toronto Maple Leafs hosting the San Jose Sharks, and then later this evening on Sportsline, we'll have highlights along with post-game comments and the full wrap with Leaf Chat. Los Angeles Kings taking on the Buffalo Sabres tonight. Gretzky is not in the lineup. No, he hasn't been traded. He's out with a hip pointer, but the rumors circulating around Gretzky being traded are still all over the Great One. As well, a couple of spring trainings have opened for baseball teams. We'll have the full story tonight at 11:30 on Sportsline. Now here's Susan with a look at the weather.
Thanks, Gene. Just a few clouds across the province tonight, and of course continuing cold. There's the chance of a few scattered flurries around Hamilton and the Niagara regions. Tomorrow, a mix of sun and clouds, still the chance of flurries and still continuing cold, and we hope we can break that over the next few days. I'll have much more on that later tonight. Jane?
Thanks, Susan. And join us at 11 for all the day's top stories on the world tonight. We'll see you then.
The following is a presentation of the Global Television Network in association with Molestar Communications.
Toronto's trademark over the past 4 seasons has been their ability to play as a unit, to stick together, to be a confident and difficult team to deal with. With the new faces arriving en masse of late, that level of confidence and the degree of difficulty had decreased. But their last 2 games have featured 2 defining moments we may well remember as turning points. First up, second period on Saturday, Mike Gartner rushes to his teammates' aid. Togetherness, and while they tie Buffalo, this was a moment Toronto could grasp. Finally, the sign of a unit working together. Then on Monday, a second period major to Dave Ellett puts the Leafs' injury-riddled defense on guard. But as a group, they stave off the Penguins' top-rated power play, and the confidence grows. The cold sticks come out of storage, goals from expected sources, a productive power play, a physical presence not seen in a month, and team defense, a Toronto trademark in what may have been their finest hour of the 95-96 season. Molson Leaf Hockey on the Global Television Network is brought to you by Molson Ultra, wickedly smooth beer. Maple Leaf Gardens in downtown Toronto. If you look closely, you will see sparks in the air. They've been there since Monday night. Who put them there? Well, the answer to that question, quite simply, the captain. Doug Gilmour got it going against Pittsburgh Monday night with the game's first goal. He contributed in every facet of the game on the score sheet with tons of heart, taking it to the Pittsburgh players at every opportunity. He was in their face, and he looked on and had a vision of a victory staring him right in his face. Almost an injury late in the game, taken into the board, shoulder injury, likely a doubtful scratch for tonight, but in fact, he will play. Let's take a look now at the Maple Leafs heading the ice, led by Felix Potvin. Certainly a big star for them on Monday night, as everybody was. Good evening, everybody. I'm Jim Taddy. Welcome to Molson Leaf Hockey on the Global Television Network. Todd Gill took the pregame skate. He will play tonight. Viewer warning here. When you see Maple Leaf player close-ups on this broadcast tonight, you may see the word revenge written across their faces. Why? Go back 10 days. It's San Jose, in San Jose, and the Sharks kill a big Leaf rally in the third period. This goal by Jamie Baker pretty well ices the cake. 6-4 the final for San Jose on that night. The relevance is in the Western Conference standings. Toronto leads St. Louis by 2 points. They have played the same number of games. The big players are starting to contribute. We start with the big man, Dave Andreychuk, who has been red hot of late. 4 goals in his last 4 hockey games. And should the Leafs win tonight, he will no doubt be a factor and will, of course, need some help from his teammates as well. The story in San Jose, simply put, is they're coming off a loss in Montreal on Monday night. 3-0 to the Habs, although the Sharks did embarrass the Kings on Saturday, and you know what they did to the Leafs 10 days ago. The big story in San Jose is behind the bench. Jim Wiley has taken over, and a tough season is starting to look up. 10-18-1 under Wiley. As far as the Leafs are concerned, they got a big effort from everybody on Monday night, including Murphy and McCowan. Jiggs McDonald talked to Harry Neal about that.
Well, Jim, we felt it was time to come to the defense of the Leaf defense. Much maligned, undermanned recently, but have played real well the last couple of games, Harry.
Yeah, they sure have, and they have been shorthanded in that position. But McCowan and Larry Murphy, I thought, played their 2 best games of the season on Saturday against Buffalo and most especially Monday against Pittsburgh. McCowan nearly 30 minutes. Larry Murphy well over 30 minutes. McCowan was the meanest guy in the rink and took it out on the opponents and played his best game of the year. And Larry Murphy did a nice job, especially penalty killing, against that dangerous Pittsburgh power play and took care of his old buddy, number 66.
Monday night's game against Pittsburgh, Rob Zettler caught my eye. How about you?
Yeah, I've really admired the attitude Zettler's had all this season, not playing very much. And when he gets a chance to play, these are the kind of hits and the kind of action he provides. He knocked Nedved down, then went after Yager. And to sit around as much as he's done and come up with the effort he came up with Monday, it's another reason the Leafs won.
Just moments away from the opening face-off between the Leafs and the San Jose Sharks.
Coming up next, Leafs and Sharks live from Maple Leaf Gardens.
Being oneself, styled expressionist, punctuating the ordinary, searching innermost pockets for your ID, detecting the truthfulness necessary to unapologetically say, this is the way I am.
And weave the rain, do your thing, do it high, do it low, all the way around the rainbow.
Just before we get to the hockey game, things boiled over this week with a reported ban to some members of the media by Coach Pat Burns.
Well, he banned the players listening to some forms of the media, and I'm not slamming the AM radio station in question. I'm not slamming the print media, but to my knowledge, a lot of players never did listen and don't read the papers unless it's for out-of-town scores, and I think it was overblown by the media, imagine that, but I respect the fact everybody's got time to fill, everybody's got columns to fill, And unfortunately, in Toronto, a lot of times it's negative. And how are we doing for time?
We've just filled it. Let's go up to Jigs and Harry.
Thanks, guys. The Molson Cup presentation is being made to last month's winner, Felix Potvin. Scott Waits of Molson Breweries making the presentation, joined by two of the players that you'll see in the game here tomorrow night. That junior showcase, Daniel Briere representing Drummondville of the Quebec Junior League, and Matt Higgins from Moose Jaw Warriors of the Western Canadian Junior League. Felix Potvin will get the start in the nets tonight. The 26-year-old is a game under 500 in his career against San Jose, tonight's opponent, but he had a pretty strong month. Had a great game here to get February underway at home at Maple Leaf Gardens against Pittsburgh on Monday night. So the Cat is the Molson Cup 3-star award winner for the month of January. Facing him at the other end of the ice, Chris Terreri. Terreri has faced Toronto twice since moving over to that San Jose team. You see his record on the season, 14-21-1. A career record of a win, a loss, and a tie against the Leafs. Potvin with a 2.80 goals against average.
Terreri starting his 36 of the 39 games that he's been with the Sharks since coming over from the Devils. So he's got what he wanted, games to play. He didn't get many of those in New Jersey.
I'll say. Richard Trottier referees tonight's game. That was Darby Hendrickson centering for Warner and Craig to get it started for the Leafs. Puck bounced off Hendrickson into the San Jose zone, and Bodger is back. Bodger and Moore on defense. They've got Tansel centering the Roger Baker unit. And that unit has been red hot in recent games for San Jose. Sharks cleared out. Jamie McCowan comes back. McCowan and Yuskevich on defense. Dmitry Yuskevich unable to get it around Tansel, and McCowan drops back. San Jose starts to change up. This is the third game of an 8-game road trip for the Sharks. Hendrickson knocked down at center, and Warner has shot it in deep. Yves Racine in the exchange there with Terreri. Tries Owen Nolan here on right wing. His pass off Gilmore's skates, handled by Andrechuk, and shot in by Doug Gilmore. That's Kirk Muller going in after it. Terreri bounced it off Muller. Now Janney turns it over, and here's Doug Gilmore trying to get out of the corner, but he ran headfirst into Yves Racine. Racine around the near boards. Nolan handling it now, tries a long pass. It was behind Janney, and Todd Gill is back in the lineup tonight. Takes over for the Leafs. Gill skated yesterday, and again this morning was doubtful, but as you see in the lineup, the back spasm's much better. This is Gilmore. Can't get through the San Jose defense. So Dave Ellett waits, then shoots it in. It got away from Terreri, and you see Jamie Baker, little tip pass. Racine got it outside the line, and here's Nolan. Can't get it through Dave Gagne. Pat Sundin unable to pick it up, so the Sharks shoot it in and then go for a player change. Mike Gartner with a pass up the middle. Here's Sundin. One man to beat. He couldn't do it. Murphy gathers it in at center ice. Long pass to Sundin. Gartner cuts in. Mike Gartner looks to Gagne as he headed for the net. Couldn't make the play. Gartner comes off the left side. Fired one off the defenseman's stick. Lets it go and scores!
Mike Gartner gets his 11th goal in his career. This is his 18th game against the San Jose Sharks. He scored a pile of goals. I'm not sure he shot any better than that one. Right over the catching glove of Terreri. And again, the San Jose Sharks get behind early in the game. They've had 85 goals scored against them and only scored 43 in the first periods for a -44. They're always playing from behind, and they're not good enough to do that. Only 4 wins in 38 games that they fell behind, and did they come across with a victory.
You saw who just won. Helene Castello of Caschi Bay. Helene entered score and win at A&P. And as you saw, $300 in MasterCard Traveler's checks from the Bank of Montreal. Gartner's 26th of the season, 1-0 Toronto. That's 8 times Gartner has opened the scoring in a game for the Leafs this season. 6 of them here at the Gardens.
Well, the first goal for the Leafs seems almost vital. They're 19-4-4 when they get it, and they've only won 5 out of 29 games when the opposing team gets it.
So a good omen, and here's Momesso off the right side. That stays high. Jamie McCowan goes in after it. Got tied up with Odgers, and the puck is turned over. Peterson out through center ice, leading the rush for San Jose. Mishandled the puck, and Momesso gets it outside the line. Domi can't handle it, however. Jamie Baker turns it over. Bill Berg on to Domi, who bunted it out of the air. Baker looks up ice, and immediately Berg was on him. Now they start out again. Yves Racine got it to the Leaf blue line. Odgers trying to center, and it's cleared away and down the ice, courtesy of Dave Ellen. Icing waved off. Sikora back for the Sharks. Up to Jamie Baker. Pushed into the boards by Craig, and the fans react to that as Tansel fires a long one. Handled routinely by Potvin. Around the boards, Warner took the man. There's Sikora with a shot. Now it's centered out to Tansel. All the way back to Sikora. Up the slot, but wide of the net. Baker driving for the puck. Allen on him. And it's knocked loose for Mike Craig. Craig fires it off the boards, and we watch Sikora go back. In the forecheck is Todd Warner. 1-0 Toronto on a goal by Gartner. Owen Nolan leads the rush for the Sharks. Here's Janney with him here on the right, and he elected to shoot it in, didn't he? Kurt Muller tips it and went right to Nolan. Unable to center it. Covered up by Potvin, and we'll get a face-off deep in the Toronto zone. Mike Gartner has the first goal of this game.
Building, blocks of time passing by, biographies of unforgettable characteristics, and stones bouncing off a backbone buried deep in your own backyard. Why? Because I
Play Score and Win at A&P, Dominion, and Miracle Food Mart. When the Leafs score, you could win a set of quality appliances from T-Fel, a 20-piece set of Mikasa fine china, a Gold Star StarTouch 2 VCR, or a Texas Instruments personal organizer. You could also win a trip for two to the Bahamas, courtesy of Canadian Holidays, Canada's largest vacation company. To play, use your savings card and try Hunt's Snack Pack puddings, made with real milk for a smooth, rich texture. Available at these fine stores.
$300 in MasterCard Traveler's checks on its way to Cassie Bay on Gartner's opening goal at 2:09. See what that point for Mike Gartner has done, Harry?
Puts him in an elite group because Mr. Allman was a fine hockey player for Toronto and Detroit.
Here's another fine player, Gilmore, slapping it in off the boards, but instead it goes up into the seats. How about these names? I mean, Gartner and Allman are just a pair, but elite company.
Mike Gartner's been on in the All-Star game with 4 different teams. No other NHLer has ever done that. And here's the shot from just inside the circle. And if ever you want to see a perfect hockey shot, you looked at one a minute ago.
It was Max McNabb who drafted Mike Gartner, said he'd never seen a faster junior, maybe not a faster human on skates.
Human? That Max, he's got it, everybody.
Yeah.
Humans and non-humans.
Don't doubt that either. Muller centers one. Gilmore can't chip it by Terreri. Janney to Nolan, and the Sharks come to the Leaf line. Janney had to go to the right wing boards. Plays it in deeper. Jay Moore gets bumped, and here's Todd Gill. Gilmore waiting back of the net. Takes the pass. Feeds it on to Wellenstick. More Sharks back. The Leafs right at the end of their long shift have dumped it in. Doug Bodger gets it out. Stepped over center and shot it in for the Sharks. Now they change up. Ellen in the exchange with Potvin. Can't get it up the right side. Racine with a shot that's turned aside. Murphy banks one off the glass and out of there. Racine and Peterson, the defense pairing for San Jose. High shot, bounces off the glass for Murphy. Out toward Gagne. Tipped it to Sundin, and then it's slapped out of the zone by Murphy. Racine goes back. Sundin into forecheck. And Zettler will chase it for the Leafs. Just a little more than 5 minutes gone. Zettler unable to come up with the puck and sent it out in front. Cleared by Murphy. Peterson gets checked. This is Gartner knocked to the ice by Racine. Gagne fed Murphy. On pass. Off Gagne's stick. Cleared back by Peterson. All the way way down into the lead zone. Murphy to touch up. That's icing against San Jose. Gartner's goal was at 2:09 of the opening period. Toronto leading 1-0.
Well, Gardner scored a beautiful goal. There's no question about that one. Terreri, no chance at all on it. But he was just nailed with a big-time NHL body check right here by Yves Racine. Gardner looked up and looked right into the eyes of Racine. The San Jose Sharks have scratched these players, Ragnarsson and Wood, evidently healthy scratches. The other 3 hurt. And for the Leafs, here's the lineup Pat Burns has selected. At least those are the ones that aren't in it.
Reason back for San Jose. Gave it to Jim Kite, who comes to center. Shoot in off the board. Sean Donovan couldn't pick it up. And here's Sergio Momesso. Overshot it. And wraps up Jeff Friesen and will draw the first penalty of the night. Sergio Momesso off at 6:24 of the first period.
Well, Sergio makes the giveaway right here when the pass rolled off a stick and then compounds the problem right there by taking a penalty. And the San Jose Sharks will get the first power play of the game. Jim Wiley, the 3rd coach in the history of the Sharks and one of 3 current NHL coaches that used to play for the Pittsburgh Penguins. Ted Nolan in Buffalo and Coley Campbell in New York are the other 2. Owen Nolan, who was brought over early in the season from Colorado in the Sandis Olszynsz trade, is tied for the scoring lead for the Sharks.
Sharks power play is much better this season than it was a year ago. Except they've given up 17 shorthanded goals.
Well, you got to factor that into their power play, you know, so maybe it isn't as much better as it looks like when you just look at the success statistic. They are 17th in the league with 48 power play goals, but you got to subtract those 17 shorthanded goals.
Yeah, leading the league, I think. Yeah. Muller has shot it down the ice. He and Gilmore hit off. So does Yuskevich. Out comes Gagne. Gagne joined by Sundin, Yuskevich, and McCowan as Janney broke up the San Jose rush. On comes Whitney. Hey, Whitney back to Peterson. Roger to Peterson. Off to Janney. Centered, and Whitney shot it wide. And Nolan gets it back to the point. That's Doug Bodger to Nolan. Nolan looking to Janney as he cruises toward the front of the net. Now Nolan fires, and it's blocked by Potvin. The closed captioning of tonight's first period is being brought to you by Apple Auto Glass. Exclusive one-for-life installations. Guaranteed safer by 130 apples, coast to coast.
Well, there's no question that Ray Shepherd would really be an asset to this team since coming over from the Red Wings. He has given the San Jose Sharks a shot in the arm offensively. He and Owen Nolan both played for the Cornwall Royals. And since they have joined the Shark team, you can see they're Mr. 1 and Mr. 2 in offense.
They're still a long way away from the playoffs. A lot of the folks in Northern California have written the season off. Roger looks to Racine.
You know, it is the computer center of America, but you don't need a computer to figure that baby out.
No, you sure don't. Racine almost had his pocket picked by Muller. Reason got it back to the point. Knocked in deeper by Yegorov, playing only his 3rd game in the National Hockey League. Alexei Yegorov, number 48, waiting for it to come out of the corner. And then a whistle, and referee Richard Trache has Dave Ellett ticketed.
Well, remember, Dave was thrown out of the game against Pittsburgh, against Pittsburgh Monday night for high sticking, and he picks up another one here as he tapped Friesen on the helmet. They aren't going over for the mandatory blood test we see guys trying to get in the National League, but there's Friesen, and here's the accident. He tried to pick a stick up, and he shoved it into the side of the neck of Friesen, so the Leafs will be down 2 men for 21 seconds, and there is the second penalty of the double. 21 seconds left in Sergio Momesso's penalty, so this is a great opportunity for the Sharks to tie the game up. They've scored 4 goals this year when they've been up 5-3.
They get the draw here. Miller gave it to Bodger, and then right back to Kevin Miller. Then it off to Janney. Point for Miller and the overled Bodger. Ray Whitney to Doug Bodger to Ray Whitney. Back to Bodger for a shot. Potvin the save. It comes right back to the goal mouth. Big scramble, and Murphy steps up and clears it out. Momesso just out of the box. Dumps it the rest of the way into the Shark zone.
Doug Bodger got a lot on that shot, and it was a painful stop by Potvin, I can tell you that.
Now Bodger carries it across the Leaf line. Gave it to Miller. Trying to pull it away from Gagne, and that didn't work. Dave Gagne fires it down. Chris Terreri around toward Doug Bodger's side of the ice. A minute and 10 seconds left in the San Jose power play. 5 on 4 as Miller gets them over the line. Here's Janney. Craig Janney having trouble with it, then centered and cleared away. McCowan slapping at it. Here's Janney picking it up. Shoots. That was blocked by Yuskevich. Tracked down, then cleared by McCowan to Sundin. Now 47 seconds remaining in Ellis High's sticking penalty. 1-0 Toronto if you've just joined us. Mike Gardner with the only goal of the game. 37 seconds in the San Jose power play as they come over center. Trying to dance in here is Friesen. Went to the net. Puck came loose. Victor Kozlov, who's celebrating a birthday today, sets up at the top of the circle. In deeper, Kozlov to the front of the net. Friesen couldn't get it to him. Kozlov, who's a big kid, able to pick it up again, and Peterson has it at center ice.
How old is he today, do you know?
21.
21 feet tall, isn't he?
Just about.
6'5".
Here's Buller into the San Jose zone. That will kill off the penalty against Allen. Sharks had only one shot on goal with the two-man advantage, and then none with the one-man advantage. Kozlov's shot went wide. Mike Craig gets it out of the zone. Sharks take over it again at center ice. Sikora. There's another big kid. 22, 6'5". Baker with a shot that steered aside. Settler left it for Gilmore. The captain threads it through center and all the way down. So we're going to whistle for icing as Kite went back to touch up. Toronto 1, San Jose nothing. Molson Leaf Hockey.
On November 20th, 1994, Linda and Katie Duggar created automotive history. An oncoming car veered out of control and slammed into the side of their Volvo 850. It was the first time ever a side impact airbag deployed in a life-threatening accident. Both mother and daughter share a belief that a car saved their lives that day.
Looks like it's RRSP time again. Everyone's trying to get you to jump into their boat or join them on a world tour of investing. All the answers are there, somewhere. Well, maybe you have a few questions, and that's where we can help. Altamira will answer any questions you might have about saving for your RRSPs. No load, no commissions, no sales pitches. Simply call Altamira. 1-800-343-9898. Helping you take control.
Rob Zettler killing a penalty takes away the jam play, a very popular move on the power play. You can see Friesen get the puck on the icing line and then try and step out. Zettler moves over to take him, and Kirk Muller comes back to grab big 25. So some good teamwork on the penalty killing by the Leafs.
Face off in the Leaf zone. The puck controlled by Larry Murphy. And Hendrickson dropped back. Here's Tansel back to the net. Out to Baker for the shot. He scores! Jamie Baker ties it up.
Well, this line of Tansel and Baker have really been, and Odgers have really been hot. That's their 25th goal in the last 8 games, counting just 10 minutes of this one. And it's a pass from behind the net by Tansel. I don't think Baker even knows he scored it, but the other two forwards do, as it went in by the looks of it on the short side. There's the shot, and on the short side, Potvin knows it in, and it's 1-1.
All at the 10:45 mark.
And number 38, Michael Sikora. Time 10:45.
Sikora had the other assist along with Tansel. Warner offside at the San Jose blue line as the Leafs came back in.
This week at Canadian Tire, you can get a 28-point inspection, oil, lube, filter, and tire rotation, all for just $19.99. Offer ends soon, so hurry into Canadian Tire today.
Well, Jamie Baker, more known for his defensive specialty instead of his offense. That is his 6th goal in the last 7 games, and he has 3 assists to add to that. He's got 5 shorthanded goals, and he's got 4 points in 2 and a bit games against the Leafs this year. So Jamie Baker emerging as a bit of an offensive star for the San Jose Sharks.
They beat Los Angeles 6-1 on Saturday afternoon, and 6 different goal scorers in that game. Exploded for 3 in the early stages of the 3rd period to blow it open. This game tied 1-1 as we watch Owen Nolan shoot it in. Montez failed to hold it. Kevin Miller is checked by Murphy. Now to Wallet. Dave Allen steps over center, fires a long one, bounced right out in front, almost off Terreri. Handled here, and Andreychuk backhanded it wide. This is Muller fighting off the check of Jace Moore. Muller to Gilmore. Andreychuk battling his way to the front of the net. Gilmore was knocked down, and there will be a penalty on the play against San Jose. The Leafs to the power play when we come back to Maple Leaf Gardens.
Nothing added, nothing taken away.
Hey, how's your day shaping up? Is it a round day with lots of the usual stuff, like a billion or so other people? Or is it a flat day where you're paying for the goodies one at a time? Or maybe you're going for the truly creative, harmonious form of a Mr. Sub. Fresh baked buns, incredible tastes, and toppings that are actually free. A very face-friendly configuration. Hey, we're not out for world domination. We just like to change the shape of things to come. So have a nicely shaped day.
Doug Gilmore doing a little acting here. He might have been held, but not for long and not too enthusiastically. Janney gets a penalty, and the Leafs are on the power play, and the power play has been good to the Leafs against the Sharks this year. 8 for 17 coming into tonight.
Murphy propels the puck back at that San Jose goal where Racine was waiting. That's Sundin covering the left point into Gilmore. Walks through in front, gave it to Murphy, up high on Terreri. Gilmore is pushed off the puck, but here's Kirk Muller. Now to Gilmore, trying to get it back to Muller, but Bodger stepped in. Sharks failed to get it out. Murphy to Sundin, a long shot is wide, and Terreri scoops it up off the end boards.
Well, Larry Murphy, who is a power play specialist with 28 power play points that lead the Leafs, one of the skills he has on the power play is to keep pucks in at the offensive blue line. He does it with his foot. He often does it with his hand. And you got to be sure you get that thing going off the glass or the boards in front of Murphy, or he's going to keep it in on you. And usually turns it into not a bad idea. 5 points in his 3 games against the Sharks this year.
Did he ever leave the ice Monday? Zod, I think.
32 and some odd minutes, and many of the minutes against the big line, Lemieux and Yager and the boys.
Murphy stays out on this power play. He's on the right point. Sundin is on the left. Sundin with the puck across to Murphy, off the heel of his stick and outside the line. Larry Murphy being bothered here by Tansel as he fed it to Gagne. Now to Sundin. In off the boards. Chris Terreri shoots it off the glass and out of play. 50 seconds gone in this power play as we join Jim Ralph.
Yes, thanks, Shiggs. We're with Ray Sheppard, the injured Shark forward. And Shep, right now, if you could give us a little update on the status of the injury.
Well, it's a slightly separated shoulder, and I've been out for a week now, and hopefully in a couple more days I'll be ready to go again.
Now, your numbers since coming to San Jose, still 25 goals on the year. The playoffs do not look great right now, but the way the division is, a couple of strings of wins together can change things.
Well, that's what we're looking at. I think we're starting to come together as a team a little bit now, and nobody's really making a move in the Western Conference for the last playoff spots. And if I can help out by scoring goals to help this team make the playoffs, that's what we're hoping for.
Well, you've done it your whole career. Thanks, Shep.
Thanks a lot, Rocky.
Let's go back to Jakes.
7 minutes to play in this first period. More importantly, 50 seconds of the lead power play. That's Gartner. Ridden into the boards. San Jose doesn't get it out. Sundin willed it to Murphy. Back to Sundin. Deeper to Gartner. Knocked down by Sikora. Gartner right back on the puck. Sikora took it away. Can't get it out of there. Sundin fires toward the net. Gartner put on the target. And Peterson knocked him down. Tom Peterson able to play one around the boards and all the way down. 22 seconds left in Janney's holding penalty. Game tied 1-1. Murphy to Gilmore. Pass was blocked. Gartner got a stick on it, but never gained control. And the Sharks are out of there. Baker holding the puck and dropping it back. Jason Moore fires it down the ice. Penalty to Janney is over. Each team has had 6 shots on goal. We have 6 minutes to play in the first period at Maple Leaf Gardens. It's been Gartner for Toronto, Baker for San Jose. Gill to Wellet. And a shoot-in. Gilmore taken to the boards, but there's Dave Andrechuk. Caught off Miller's check, but the puck came outside the line. Gill has dropped it to Wellet. Back to Todd Gill. Dave Ellett. Once more for Gill. Now the Leafs start to move up. Ellett with a long pass. Gilmore is across the San Jose line, pulling to the left side. Centered, and Andrechuk is checked. Nice heads-up play by Kevin Miller. Gilmore back in the goal. Can't get it out to Andrechuk in time. Greg Janney feeds Owen Dolan. Dolan lost it at the late blue line. Gilmore is back. Gilmore, Andrechuk, and Muller head off for a rest now. Pat Byrne sends out Ty Domi's unit. Domi joining Berg and Momesso as we watch Potvin play it up the boards. Sergio Momesso has it. Got it outside the zone. Ty Domi taken to the boards with Sikora. Yuskevich can't get it through center ice. 3 Sharks over the blue line, and Kozlov's shot was off the target. Alexei Yegorov, the 20-year-old, wearing number 48 for San Jose, trying to make the turn here on Berg. Sikora held it in, shoots, Potvin to save, and the big rebound is cleared out. Shot right back in. Jamie McCowan with 4.5 minutes to go in the period, feeds Momesso. Right side to Berg, steps over the blue line. Berg centers, Momesso in, beaten by Terreri. Close call as Sergio Momesso drove to the net, but it's still 1-1.
Maria, come un mendicante inginocchiato davanti a una regina, ti imploro di accettare i miei umili omaggi.
Then he says, hi, Mary.
Oh, hi, Vincenzo.
Voglio comunicarti il mio eterno amore, mia dolcezza.
And he wants to know if you're free tonight.
Si, Vincenzo, si.
Bell three-way calling pay-per-use service lets you call person to person to person. It's already on your line, and it costs just 50 cents a call.
Vinny says great.
Call 1-800-641-RING to find out how to use Bell three-way calling.
Investigate the inexplicable.
Unbelievable.
Discover mysteries that defy all logic.
This is gonna blow your mind.
Delve into the unknown.
Too weird.
Open up the X-Files and enter a whole new dimension of fear and suspense.
Don't do this.
The X-Files, Global's Guide to the Special Time, Friday at 7.
Have you ever seen anything like this?
No.
You're looking at one of the guys with the biggest task in the National Hockey League, the new general manager of the Ottawa Senators, Pierre Gauthier. Made some quick moves as soon as he took over. Ottawa has played better. And he'll make some more moves before it's all over, I'm sure. One of his enemies in that department, Cliff Fletcher. A lot of the GMs are here to watch that Junior All-Star game tomorrow. So the lies will be flowing big time in the general manager's box tonight, won't it?
I guess. I'm just wondering what the punchline was between Rick Wamsley and Cliff a moment ago. Yeah, they're all here. The gathering of the Junior All-Stars in this building tomorrow night. Sundin across the San Jose line, left the puck there, and Whitney fed it out. Came right back to Ray Whitney. They lost it in Sundin's skates. Kozlov backhands it out towards center ice. Yegorov with it. Decided to dump it in, and Potvin turns it around the board. Here's Dave Gagne. He takes the man. Sundin takes the puck. Shoot in. Gartner trying to drive through. Can't get there. Taken down, and play is allowed to continue.
The fans hollering for an obstruction penalty as Gartner was hauled down going to the net without the puck. Dave Brown, who's hauled a few guys down in his career, often with his hands closed.
Yeah. Back on it here is Rob Zettler. One-touch pass. Warner to Hendrickson. Big shot. Nice pad save. Driving out of the corner here for the Leafs is Mike Craig. Pulls up in the corner, trying to go around Friesen. Up on the board. Craig has kicked it loose. Gets a stick on it. Good job. Sets up Warner for the shot to change direction, and Terreri banks that. Right back to Murphy. And his shot blocked, didn't he? And here's Rob Zettler back on it. Zettler to Warner. Dumps it in. Sakura goes back for San Jose. The game tied 1-1. The Leafs changing up. Rogers down the right side has shot it in toward Potvin. It'll be called back. 2 minutes, 34 seconds remaining in the first period. Here's what's ahead on the first intermission tonight. You'll hear from Leaf defenseman Jamie McCowan and a feature with Kirk Muller and a junior hockey tribute tonight. Bell's all-time Maple Leaf team, one of the all-time greats, Syl Apps.
Here's the play that the fans were complaining about. Gartner tries to go to the net without the puck, and Dave Brown grabs him and hauls him down. Lots of Valentine's signs out.
Goodness. Gartner for the Leafs, Baker for the Sharks. We're tied 1-1. Leafs have outshot the Sharks 9-7 to this stage of the game. Rogers unable to hold the pass. Berg driving back of that San Jose net. Wrap around off Terreri's right pad. As Cancel clears it out. Cancel, Baker, Rogers out there together as Bill Berg. Sergio Momesso and Ty Domi have the assignment of slowing up this hot line for the Sharks. Terreri just pulled it back in and covered up.
Well, Ty Domi, who is one of the better forechecking forwards in the National League, really put the fear into Doug Bodger, as Bodger knew he had to touch the puck first, but he could hear, he could smell, and he could see Domi coming from behind. And this is a tough spot for a defenseman. You can't peel off and not touch the puck. Bodgers didn't get enough of the puck, and Terreri stopped it from being a scoring chance.
Harry Neal will be in Washington on Friday, so there'll be a lot of skullduggery going on in that city. But first, it's the X-Files, out at a special time at 7 Friday night. And the Leafs face the Capitals at 8. Global's got it this Friday. The X-Files at 7, the Leafs and the Caps at 8. Gilmore, Andreychuk, and Kirk Muller. Greg Janney taking the face-off for the Sharks. Here's Jay Moore with it. Olin Nolan brings it to center ice. Nolan shoot in off the boards. Andreychuk didn't get it out. A long shot off the top of the net. It was that close. Now Gilmore starts down the right wing boards. Looks to Muller as he cut into the middle. Moore back for it. Knocked down solidly by Dave Andreychuk, and the crowd yelling about that. Miller's cross-ice pass is tipped. Stays in the Leaf zone, however. Nolan to Janney, then around the boards, and right to Dave Andreychuk. Turned it over. Shoot in by Moore, and San Jose gets a chance to make some player changes. This is Dave Ellett up the middle. High speed by Gartner, but it was picked off. Fired toward the net. What a stop by Potvin.
And what a nice wrist shot that made from Kozlov that Potvin came up with the big save. Goals against has been the killer against the Sharks this year. 242 in this, their 56th game. That's 4.4 per game against, the most in the National Hockey League. And you can't win in this league when you give up over 4 goals a game. Dave Andreychuk throwing a rare but effective body check right there. And I have seen the Leaf veterans in the past 3 games come up and kind of get out of character. Muller in a fight, Gartner in a fight, Anderchuk taking people out. And I think that's one of the reasons why the Leafs have only lost 1 in the last 4 games. Their older players are grabbing this team by the throat. Guys like McCowan and Gilmore, who've been around and been through slumps and have, from a Leaf viewpoint, hopefully ended the drought of 1 win in 12 games.
57th game of an 82-game season. It is that time of the year. Allen clears it out. And of course, the trading deadline is the 20th of March. Some guys want to stay here. I imagine all of them. Gardner has shot it in, and the Sharks turn it to the right wing boards for Ray Whitney. Knocks it out towards center ice. Up steps Nolan. He left it there and then got it right back from Friesen. Nolan's shot is high up into the seats. 14 9/10 of a second remaining in this first period. Fourth and final meeting of the season between the Leafs and San Jose. Toronto with a record of 2 wins and a loss. The loss coming on that recent road trip out west.
Well, you mentioned this is the 3rd game of an 8 consecutive road game trip. There's that stop on Kozlov, the big 6'5" Soviet sophomore player. And Potvin had to stretch to the limit to say it. 8 consecutive road games in 17 days. They do get home for 2 days between their game in the island this weekend and starting up again next week in Calgary. But that's an awfully long road trip for a team that wins a lot of games on the road, let alone one that has 5 wins in 27 games up to this point away from home.
Started in L.A. Saturday, went to Montreal. Here tonight it goes to Ottawa, to Long Island, to Calgary, to Vancouver, and Anaheim. And there's the end of the first period of Game 3 on this trip for San Jose. The Leafs got the first goal. The Sharks came back to tie it up. So it's 1-1 at the end of the first period at Maple Leaf Gardens.
Every hardware store sells paint, but at all 900 neighborhood home hardware stores, we don't just sell it, we make it in this plant, right here. It's our homemade Beauty Tone paint, and we test it constantly for durability, for ease of use. Beauty Tone passes every test with flying colors. Before you paint, visit Canada's paint experts.
Great price, friendly advice at Home Hardware.
Great price, great paint. Great wall.
Contestants, are you ready to take the challenge? Every week, Sports Select players will compete to shoot for loot. You could win Maple Leaf merchandise, a pair of tickets to a Leaf home game, and a chance at up to $1,000 in a shootout on the ice. You could even win a trip to a playoff game. Take the challenge. Have your Pro Line or over-under ticket on hand. Use this number to enter. Call now to shoot for loot from Sports Select. There's a draw every week.
It's out there. Esso Supreme 92 Octane. For a cleaner engine while you drive. A smooth feeling of power. Esso Supreme 92. Unleash the performance. With Esso.
When you buy a mutual fund, aren't you really investing in a professional money manager? Well, at CI Mutual Funds, we've got the right people in the right places. Like Emilio Bassini, advising CI's international funds. John Zechner, managing CI's Canadian portfolios. And Bill Sterling, our global strategist in New York. Each highly respected, well-connected, and performance-driven. Your financial advisor knows CI's money managers. All you have to do is ask.
Throughout this season, we will pay tribute to hockey's roots, the great contribution of junior hockey. Tonight, we focus on the North Bay Centennials, an organization that has featured coach Bert Templeton and a bevy of grads to pro hockey, including high-scoring Andrew McBain, current Jet Darren Turcotte, Ottawa center Dave McElwain, Hartford's Adam Burt, the Caps Joe Reekie, and Bruin center Todd Ellick. Also included the Hatcher brothers, Kevin and Darian, now with Dallas, starred in North Bay. As did former Leaf Drake Barahowski. Oh, they made them tough under Templeton. Sean Antosky, Dennis Bonvie, and Nick Kiprios were crowd favorites. Last season's top choice in Montreal, Brad Brown, will join current rookie sensation Vitaly Achmanev of Los Angeles in representing the Centennials of North Bay. Our focus tonight on tribute to the Roots. The OHL is on display this weekend. Is Saturday at 2 on Global's OHL Game of the Week. The Kingston Frontenacs host Brian Kilray and the Ottawa 67s. Join Don Martin, Dave Hutchison, and Jack Miller for all the action. After the first 20, it's tied at 1. San Jose and Toronto. Gartner for the Leafs and Baker for the San Jose Sharks. As the Leafs get better, it is the play of the veterans that is sparking this team. Jamie McCowan came up with perhaps his best game of the season on Monday night, and he's standing by out in the hall with Jim Rell.
Thanks, Jim. Jamie, despite a win against Pittsburgh on Monday, there's certainly no free passes. 1-1 against San Jose after one.
No, and San Jose's been playing very well. They beat us the last time we played. They went in and won a game 6-1. So, I mean, they've got some confidence back, and, you know, we just got to play the same way we played against Pittsburgh tonight.
Now, not saying anything against you, I don't remember your last hat trick in the National Hockey League, but the game you had against Pittsburgh Monday night, being part of a group that killed off a 5-minute major, had to be one of your best of the year.
Well, thank you very much. It's, you know, the style that I play, you don't get a lot of recognition, and, you know, we all understand that, those of us that play that style, like yourself. But you know, it's good. You know, we get 2 points, that's the key, and coming into the playoffs, you know, the style that myself, maybe like a Billy Burke plays, it comes that much more important.
Thanks for giving us the time.
Thank you.
All right, let's go back to Jim Taddy.
All right, you know it's a good trade when you acquire somebody and 3 weeks later it seems like the fella's been here since day one. That certainly applies to Kirk Muller. Here's how Kirk feels about things.
Benoit Hogue beats it across ice. Just gave him a chance to chase it and didn't get there. Muller scores!
You know, when I was asked to leave and then asked to come back, it's pretty tough to walk back in the dressing room and try to tell the guys to forget about it and let's resume playing and as if nothing happened. So probably the best thing for everybody was that I didn't return. Actually, I was just on my way to Queen's University in Kingston, and I was doing some training there, and Mike Barnett had called me on the cellular phone with me and said, listen, you know, how do you feel about wearing the blue and white? So I was so relieved that it was finally over, but I was so excited also that it was Toronto, because I had heard that, you know, there was a good chance that they couldn't do it. So, you know, I sat down there in the rink and got all the information. And the tough thing was I was told to keep it quiet for a few hours, but it was tough. You know, I called my dad right away, and you know, obviously he was a Leaf fan his whole life, so he was really excited. Actually, I like Toronto. I was a big Flyers fan, actually, growing up in Bobby Clark and that. So, which is very rare in our town because it was split, you know, halfway between Toronto and Montreal. So, you get a majority of the people are either Leaf fans or Canadian fans. But that was a time where Philly was winning the Cup. And, you know, looking at the team at the time, they were exciting, and I became more so I think it was because of Bobby Clark.
They keep it in there. Buffalo looking to tie the game with under 3 minutes remaining. Right in for them. They score! LaFontaine gets it out front to Jason Dawe, and the Buffalo Sabres have tied the hockey game.
This is no question a way to test some guys in the room and see how close you are and everything. And you know, I remember the year in Montreal when we won the Cup. I think we lost the last 8 or 9 games of the year. So, you know, we went into the playoffs on a big winning streak. But you know what? We pulled together through it. We had a lot of criticism. We went into the first round against a good hockey team in Quebec. But you know what? It pulled us really together, and very similar here, where you know it was almost like you're in it by yourselves for a time being, and you know you're the ones that have to stick up for each other and go out and support each other. Wow, that'd be awesome. I mean, you know, the year that we won the Cup in Montreal, you know, Toronto was 1 game away from, you know, meeting us in the finals. So, you know, we talked about in the summer, Dougie and I, the fact that we had to met up, and I'm sure we would have had to go head-to-head that series. So, one of us would have won, one of us would have lost. So, you know, but this way it would be really special. I mean, the fact that, you know, I mean, Toronto's, you know, starving for a cup, and it's been a great sports town, and they've been supporting the Leafs so well over the years. And, you know, we just, you know, want to give our best here. But, you know, if Gilly and I ever ended up on a team like that here and had that opportunity, we certainly, you know, we try to make the best of it, because this day and age, you know, you get that one shot, you never know when you're going to get it again.
This is reality. 64% of Canadians are worried they won't save enough to retire comfortably. Do you know where you stand? This is a reality check. Call now to find out how much you'll need to ensure a secure, comfortable retirement and to receive a personalized program designed to help you reach your goal. The information required to plan for your retirement is just a phone call away. The Scotia RRSP Reality Check.
Global Television presents the Molson Canadian $10,000 tabletop hockey tournament. Go one-on-one against members of the Toronto Maple Leafs and you could win 10 grand. To enter, mail tonight's trivia answer to Global Television, care of Molson Canadian Hockey Night in Toronto. Name the player who holds the Leafs record for most goals in one game by a rookie. The Molson Canadian $10,000 tabletop tournament from Global Television.
All entrants must be 19 years of age or older.
Let's do in the cheese world.
Feta cheese is big, Dave.
Anything else?
Try the pepper jack.
Wow, this would spice up a bacon cheeseburger. Give me 1,000 pounds, sliced.
Okay, and spice it up he did. It's Wendy's new Pepper Jack Bacon Cheeseburger, a quarter pound of fresh ground beef, spicy Pepper Jack cheese, 3 strips of bacon, and the perfect sauce.
Great cheeseburger, Dave.
Sure beats feta.
Sure beats feta.
I just said that.
Come try Wendy's new Pepper Jack Bacon Cheeseburger today.
Here is a Global News update.
Good evening. One of the largest manhunts in Ontario history continues tonight for a suspect wanted in 3 murders and 2 sexual assaults. 20-year-old Adrian Kincaid is wanted in the slayings of teenage sisters Tamara and Marcia Otte of Scarborough and in the murder of subway ticket collector Jimmy Trecheski. Global News has learned that Canada is getting 4 new submarines in exchange for allowing British soldiers to train in this country. Additional financing will come from cutbacks at national defense. Canada's aging submarine fleet and 2 older frigates will be scrapped. And Quebec politicians are fuming over a remark made by the federal Indian Affairs Minister. Ron Irwin suggested yesterday that native territory may not belong to Quebec. Irwin also said that he's concerned that the Quebec government may use force against natives. Details on those stories and much more coming up at 11 on The World Tonight.
Who are the greatest Leafs of all time? Make the winning call with Bell as we celebrate the greatest Leaf players of all time. Tonight we profile Syl Apps, one of a field of 19 Leaf greats, as selected by the Toronto Maple Leaf Alumni Association. Multi-sport star Syl Apps excelled in hockey, football, and pole vaulting, rising to Canadian and British Empire champion before placing 6th at the 36 Olympics. A Maple Leaf stand-up from 36 to 43. He returned from the war to star again from 45 to 48, retiring after leading the Leafs to the Stanley Cup for the 3rd time. 5 times an NHL All-Star center, the 4th Leaf captain was highly skilled and classy, a Calder and Lady Byng recipient. He entered the Hockey Hall of Fame in '61, while the Leafs paid tribute to his contributions in '93. Number 10, Syl Apps, an all-time great Maple Leaf. Cast your ballot to win one of over 70 fabulous Bell Prize packages. Go to your nearest Bell Phone Center store, Maple Leaf Gardens, or the Hockey Hall of Fame for ballots and contest rules.
Play Score and Win at A&P, Dominion, and Miracle Food Mart. When the Leafs score, you could win an IBM Aptiva personal computer, a GE Spacemaker 2 microwave oven, Dirt Devil vacuums by Royal Appliance, or $300 in MasterCard traveler's checks from the Bank of Montreal. You could also win a trip for 2 to the Bahamas, courtesy of Canadian Holidays, Canada's largest vacation company. To play, try any of over 800 quality Master Choice products and use your savings card for automatic contest entry at these fine stores.
Broken Arrow is the #1 movie. Ain't it cool? A sensational supersonic hit. And Joel Siegel says it may be winter, but it's summer at the movies. Travolta, Slater, Broken Arrow, now playing.
What do the Gilmores do when Doug isn't playing hockey? They get around. And what's the Gilmores' secret? Exercise, a balanced diet, including the fresh, cold taste of milk.
What taste?
Why, thank you, Amy. That's why there's a move to milk.
One of life's great rewards is doing the right things right. It's not traveling down the road of compromise. It's an unhurried journey towards fulfillment. And in the places you travel and the people you touch along the way, you've discovered one thing. It's the journey that counts, not the arrival.
Of all the colors I wear, the most important thing I put on leaves no color behind.
Soft and dry gel antiperspirant. Odor and wetness protection with no white chalky residue.
Clear enough?
Soft and dry clear gel.
Welcome back to Maple Leaf Gardens. It's tied at 1 after one period of play. Baker scoring for San Jose, Gartner for the Leafs. This NHL update sponsored by the Bank of Montreal. It is possible. Here's what's going on elsewhere. Second period, Zombo has scored for Boston, 1-0 over Hartford. LA in Buffalo, nothing going on there. Rudy against Hasek. Philadelphia in Florida, we have goals from Quinn, his 8th, Jovanovski, his 7th. Also, this game has yet to start. Anaheim in Edmonton against the Oilers. The score here, 1-1 after 1. The second period is next. You're watching Molson Leaf Hockey on the Global Television Network.
Freedom. Independent. What it is, it is.
Promotional consideration provided by Bayer, the makers of coated aspirin. For the relief of joint, body, and arthritic pain.
Take a minute now, listen to me. Rent for 2 weekends, the third one's free.
Just rent a car for any 2 weekends, and your third weekend's free.
The first period summary of tonight's game is brought to you by Valvoline Canada and the Valvoline family of products. People who know use Valvoline. Mike Gartner with his 26th of the season. Sundin and Murphy assisting at 2:09. Then Baker set up by Tansel. Sikora at the other assist at 10:45. 1-1. One shot difference between the two. Sports Select presents the play of the first period of tonight's game. Just after the 2-minute mark, Gartner on his off wing leans into one. Up top, over the catching glove. And Gartner had given the Leafs the lead. Our Sports Select play of the period.
Well, the Toronto Maple Leafs, I didn't think were nearly as emotional or nearly as physical or nearly as tough as they were in either Saturday or Monday's game. The chances to score, by my calculations, San Jose had 4 and the Leafs 3 in a bit of a dull period.
Yeah, it was. Yaskevich dropping back here. Ian McCowan on defense. Byrne, Momesso, and Domi starting the period with a pass here to Domi. 3 sharks back, so he shot it in and races it after it. Got bumped. Byrne goes back in the net. Kent did it out in front. Took a long time for Terreri to find his way back to the goal crease. Yuskevich unable to handle it. Left hand out of the net to play it to McCowan. He lets it go through to Sergio Momesso. Then to Bill Berg. Up steps Momesso. Pass to the right side. Yuskevich fires. It's blocked. Momesso had it and couldn't shoot it. And then Momesso ends up on the ice. He and Terreri in a verbal debate. And the referee is headed for the penalty box.
Well, a bad pinch by Kite ended up in this opportunity by Yuskevich. A nice stop by Terreri. Then Momesso can't get the wood on the puck. And here comes the penalty right there. Accidental, but obvious. And the Leafs get a power play early in the second period. Chris Terreri. 2-1 his record, or 3-1, 2-1 in his record against the Leafs in his career. Remember him from the '88 Olympic American team.
Number 30, Chris
Providence
Terreri.
College.
2 minutes for tripping.
When he was drafted by the New Jersey Devils. Terreri's got a nice sense of humor. I like to see that in a goalie.
You know, he owns a couple of Wendy's franchises.
He does?
Yeah.
In Providence?
No, I think they may be split, Harry. I'd have to check on that, but I know he flips burgers in the summer.
Well, Rogers is going to serve the penalty because he's the guy who knows the way to the penalty box. 134 minutes. So the Leafs have a chance to get the ball rolling again. After they scored, they really didn't give any chances in the first period.
Murphy floats one into the goal crease and knocked out of the air.
The Leafs, at even strength, are not a very prolific goal-scoring team. We know in the standings they're 4th in the Western Conference, but they are 10th in the Western Conference in even-strength goals. They're 10th overall in the National League, but they're 20th in the National League in even-strength goals. So their power play has been the lifeblood of their offense.
Gilmore won the draw. Murphy into Doug Gilmore, surrounded, and Miller, for San Jose has shot it down the ice. Muller, Andreychuk, Gilmore, Sundin, and Murphy for the Maple Leafs. Here's Larry Murphy lugging the puck and gave it to Sundin for a shoot-in. Terreri couldn't get a stick on it. Muller chips it around the end boards. That's Jason Moore driving to it. It's knocked away. Big drive. Terreri blocks it. Nice shot by Sundin. Gilmore into the corner. Kirk Muller makes the play to Gilmore. Can't get around Miller. Now Muller to Murphy and right back to Kirk Muller. Muller, a backhand pass across to Sundin. Puts it back of the net for Andreychuk. Now to Muller. The point for Murphy to Sundin. Lets it fly, and it just went wide. And out of play, it turns out. 1 minute gone, and the penalty against goaltender Chris Terreri for rewinding the clock. The date, 1934. The Ace Bailey benefit game played here at Maple Leaf Gardens. Packed house watching the Leafs defeat the NHL All-Star team by a 7-3 score. How many of those could you name? And, of course,
there's Eddie Shore saying, "I'm sorry, Ace, that I hit you right over the head with my stick."
Shore played.
Bailey never to play again. And, of course, the Leafs won't want anyone to forget Ace Bailey, so his number hangs in spectacular fashion here from the rafters of Maple Leaf Gardens.
Now the face-off just outside the San Jose blue line. Into the final minute of this Leaf power play. Their second opportunity of the game. Sundin lugs it out of the zone, then fed it up to Warner. Hard around the boards. Gartner races in along the right wing boards. Gagne put it out in front. Racine doesn't get it out of the zone. Sundin gave it away. Raisin tips it down into the Toronto end. Murphy going back here. Pass up the right wing boards. On the rush is Gagne. Gartner with him, but it's poked away by Racine. Murphy back. Larry Murphy couldn't get it to Gartner cleanly, so the Leafs have to go back again. 15 seconds in this power play. Sundin around the boards to Murphy. Gartner up in toward the net. Terreri slows it up and sent it off to Sikora. Oh, and Nolan banks it off the boards. Trying to catch Rogers just as he stepped out of the penalty box. Didn't work. Would have been offside anyway. This is Todd Gill. Off the boards and down. 3 minutes of this second period, excuse me. And at the left point is Dave Ellett leaning into one. Locked in front. Muller chases it. Kirk Muller. Craig is bumped off the puck by Sikora. Nolan is there. Nolan looks up ice. Works it out towards center. Back on it is Todd Gill. Gill and Ellett on defense. Hendrickson working with Craig and Muller. Good forecheck thrown up here by San Jose. Owen Nolan centers one. It's shot toward the net and steered aside by Potvin. Into the corner for Whitney. On to Nolan, to Janney. Can't get through that crowd. Battle at the side of the Leaf goal. Nolan has the puck off Hendrickson's skate. Kicked out in front, then cleared aside. This is Whitney to Nolan. To the side of the net for Janney. Out in front. Shot wide by Nolan. That was tipped. This is Whitney to Nolan. Good pressure by this forward line for San Jose. Whitney with it again to Nolan. Back to Whitney. Steps into the high slot. The shot was blocked. Muller there to help out. And finally, the Leafs get out of their zone. Gill steps over center ice. Fires a long one. Kicked out by Chris Terreri. Sharks come to center ice. Here's Yegorov across the line. McCowan steps in front of him. Gave it right back to Yegorov. Centers. Flipped wide and high by Donovan. The Leafs in a little trouble. Roger drops back now for San Jose. The Sharks have not had a shot on goal, but they've had a lot at the net. Donovan finally gets one to the target. Another shot doesn't get through. That off Yegorov's stick. And out steps Bomesso. Up off the boards and into the San Jose zone. Terreri left it for Botcher. One pass and they're out of there. Yushkevich on to Ty Domi. He steps over the line. Fed Momesso. Back to Domi. In front to Berg. It's on the doorstep. And underneath, Chris Terreri. Goals called at the San Jose end. This game remains a 1-1 tie.
Winter is here, and it's time for more snow jamming. 18 cool hits. Over 60 minutes of great party music. All on one album. Get more snow jamming and turn up the heat. In stores now.
Great events from Bell. The 50-meter dash. The marathon. The Bell 15-cent event. Make a direct dial residential call to anywhere in Canada for just 15 cents a minute every Tuesday night until February 20th.
Ty Domi has been one of the more visible Leafs tonight and makes a nice little pass here and goes to the net, as does Bill Berg, but neither one of them can get enough wood on the puck to get it by a sprawling Terreri.
There are the numbers. Gartner and Baker scoring in the first period tonight as Gilmore wins the draw. Zettler's shot is blocked. The rebound is there. Andreychuk can't get it by Terreri. It's under Muller. Then loose, a scramble as Andreychuk knocks it toward the corner. Over comes Gilmore. Back to the net. Muller is checked by Racine. Andreychuk back to Muller. Racine stepped into him. Kirk Muller tried to out-battle Racine. The puck came right out in front of the net. Muller got to it. Whitney got to him, and up they come. Whitney, Brown, and Friesen into the Leaf zone. Zettler knocked it away from Whitney. Peterson covering the point. Played it toward the net. Murphy to handle it here for the Leafs. The outlet is taken by Gilmore. He's over the line with Muller. The pass didn't get through. Gilmore drops it on. Zettler's shot is blocked in front. Andreychuk battles to it. Got it to Muller. Shot it wide. Murphy steps in off the right point. Can't get it to the net. Brown able to move it up the boards. Now Friesen dumps it out. Zettler back with it for the Leafs. Dumps it in, and Dave Brown gives chase. That's Gilmore on him. Doug Bodger using the boards, gets it out to center ice. Whitney drops it back. Up steps Friesen. Jeff Friesen with a shot that stayed wide. Loose puck in the late zone. It'll be handled by Dave Gagne. On to Mike Gartner. Gartner and Sundin at the blue line. Sundin chips it in. Gartner centered. Rogers is there. There's it out. This is Tansel looking to make the play. They score! Jeff Rogers, who went 45 games at the beginning of the season without a goal, has scored for San Jose, and that is his fifth.
Tell you one thing, this was a great goal. Rogers fought off Dave Ellett and took a long pass across and deflected it over or through Potvin. Here's a better look now. Rogers coming down the middle. You'll see him in a second. There he is. Dave Ellett's got him tied up. So he can't make a shot, but does not have a stick tied up, so Rogers tips it in. And for his fifth goal of the season, and Rogers, who's the emotional and physical leader of this Shark team, gets a goal to put his team ahead here early in the second period.
Rogers' line stays out there. Ansel and Baker. And the play goes right into the Leaf zone, but it's frozen against the boards.
That's the 14th goal the line of Baker, Rogers, and Tansel have scored in the last 7 and almost half games. And they are anything but household offensive stars around the National Hockey League. But they're a hard-working crew, and everything they touch these days seems to be going in.
Makes Jim Wiley look like a pretty clever coach, doesn't it?
Well, they were all in on the first goal. Who got the assists on this one? We haven't got the official scoring yet.
Now the Janney line is out for San Jose. Miller here on the left side, trying to get the puck to Owen Nolan. And it's broken up, and Hendrickson steps over center ice. Slotted in. That's Cora back. Up to Janney. Nolan ahead of the pack is offside. Close call. 12:45 left in the second period on Global.
Hey, buddy. Wake up.
What?
Listen, Johnny, you like that new rec room of yours?
Yeah, it's great. Why?
Johnny, what would you say if I told you we were going to put your rec room right in Maple Leaf Gardens?
You're dreaming.
No, we're not. Global presents the Molson Canadian Best Seats in the House contest.
Watch Sportsline Trivia to qualify. You could be limo to the Gardens with your own waitress.
This could be you in the best seats in the house. Global at Molson Canadian.
Today, we're just going to admire the lines of this Nissan Maxima.
Changed my mind.
The Maxima received the highest approval rating from owners the CAA has ever seen. It's got 190 horsepower V6 and multi-link beam suspension. For great handling and safety. Visit your Nissan dealer today for a test drive. Because it's time to expect more from a car.
The closed captioning of the second period is being brought to you by UAP Napa Auto Parts, the pro's choice in 2,600 member installer and Auto Pro service centers across Canada.
Well, the Leafs started quickly tonight with Gartner's goal, but they've been outplayed since. And the Sharks now lead it 2-1 on that goal by Rogers, assisted by Tansel.
San Jose to the Leaf line when the play is broken up. Gilmore starts the rush. Gave it to Andrechuk. Rolled to the right side, floated it toward the net, and it's snagged and held by Chris Terreri. Let's join Jim Ralph at the Gardens.
Great, thanks, Jigs. We're with Brian Burke, the Senior Vice President and Director of Player Personnel for the National Hockey League. Prospects game tomorrow night here at the Gardens. Obviously something, Brian, very important to the National Hockey League.
I think it's going to be great to get the best prospects playing against each other in a venue like this with a good crowd. I think it'll be a lot of fun.
A lot of talk about the blue haze around the puck for Fox at the All-Star game this year. Is it that big a deal? I saw that the last 5 years I played.
Well, I think people have to realize that some of the traditional viewers, especially our Canadian audience that has no trouble following the puck, they can find it annoying, and we got some adverse reaction to it. But some of our younger viewers in the States and some of our older viewers that have trouble following the puck liked it. I think if they limit it to replays and certain limited game action, it's got good potential.
Thanks for giving us the time.
Thanks, Jimmy.
All right, let's go back to Jigs.
Thanks, Jim. Here's Muller breaking over the line. Had to reach back for the puck. Now fires one through a screen. Dumped by Terreri. That close.
And Doug Gilmour's complaining that he was tackled by Doug Bodger as the puck on the long shot was stopped by Terreri. And he's an acrobatic goaltender. There's no question about that. And the scouting report is to go high on him because he's short and he goes down into that crouch. But they can't, other than Gartner, they can't seem to find a hole in his armor. And here's Gilmour in front of the net. He tips it, and then you can see why he complained to referee Trottier. He said, I didn't even have a first down, Richard, and you wouldn't give him a penalty here. You got one arm around me, and now the other one.
The Leafs had 10 shots on goal in the first period. They've had 11 through the first 8 minutes and 4 seconds of the second period. But they trail 2-1 on home ice. Larry Murphy off the boards. Momesso can't get Domi open. Now Zettler shoots it in. Barry started out, but allows Peterson to handle it. Momesso flushes him from back of the net. On come the Sharks, but without the puck, it's shot back in by Bird. Seen on it down. Domi is taken down. A penalty against the Sharks.
Jason Moore's going to get it, or Tom Peterson's going to get it as he tried to hold Domi up. Now, Domi's been a forechecking factor tonight for the Leafs, and there's Peterson trying to give his defenseman a little time before Domi runs him into the end of the rink. And he hauled him down, and for that, he'll get 2 minutes. 11:29 left in the second period. San Jose 2, Toronto 1.
Third power play of the game for the Leafs. The power play operates about 22.2% efficiency here at Maple Leaf Gardens. That's sixth best amongst the 26 teams. The home ice factor. San Jose kills about 73% of the penalties called against them when they're away from the Shark Tank.
Leafs in the last 5 games are 8 for 32, and it's one of the reasons why they've only lost 1 in the last 4. 3 power play goals Monday night against Pittsburgh.
Andrechuk, Gilmour, Muller, Murphy, and Sundin. Gill and Murphy on the points. Murphy, long pass. Muller waited for it. Racine stepped in. Now Tansel on a turnover. Leafs reorganize. Here's Todd Gill. Gill elects to carry it out. Shoots it in from his home side of center ice. Terreri will play it.
Terreri didn't know there was icing on the play.
Now it gets away from Gill at the Shark blue line. Andrechuk to Murphy. Todd Gill. In off the boards. Gilmour can't get there. Tansel mishandled it. It goes to Dave Andrechuk. Andrechuk having a heck of a time trying to get away from Racine, and now Miller. That's Gilmour. Got to him, it goes to Miller, and down the ice.
The recovering of loose pucks in the offensive zone when they're up for grabs is one skill a good power play team must have, and the Leafs are not coming up with the puck too often under those circumstances tonight.
45 seconds left in this power play. They're trailing by a goal. Andrechuk trying to get around Baker. That didn't work. Here's Bodger. Bodger fires toward the net. Gagne with it now. Sharks have outshot the Leafs on this Toronto power play. 24 seconds in the man advantage as they get to the San Jose line. Gartner with a rip. Grab. That may have been going wide, but good play by Terreri.
Boy, he's got a quick catching hand. There's no doubt about that. I think if you have time to think, especially when you're shooting from this far out, you don't want to give him a chance to catch it. And even if he does stop it, there might be a rebound. But when he puts that big hand out and catches it, there's no rebound. Pat Burns, I'm sure, quite happy with the effort Saturday and with the result on Monday. But I think this game reminds him of old times. Being the last 3 weeks where the Leafs have been floundering without much wind behind them.
During that stretch, the power play operated just about 18%. Penalty killing at about 79%. Tonight, the Leafs, thus far, 0 for 3 with a man advantage. Here's Dave Gagne. Gagne trying to sort things out. It's a crowd set up in front of the net. Warner can't get it across. He had Gartner waiting, but no pass.
Well, Jason Moore blocked the attempted pass across. And took one in the face for doing it. Jason Moore is the last of the 91 expansion draft candidates selected by the San Jose Sharks. He was a first-round pick of the New York Rangers.
You know who is...
And he's one of 5 players left since the inception of the roster, as you can see. And Herbe is in Kansas City at the moment.
Rehabbing with a bit of a knee problem, I gather. You know who Jason Moore's agent was when the Rangers drafted him first?
Lou Costello?
Pretty close.
Who?
Gary Howitt.
Gary Howitt.
Gary Howitt represented Jay Moore. I couldn't believe it.
Now, was that the end of Howitt's career as an agent?
Yeah, back to the miniature golf after that.
He was a tough cookie when he played, I'll tell you that much, Gary Howitt.
Teams are at full strength. Warner can't get through the crowd. Gagne drives in after a loose puck. Taken down by Sikora's body check. Muller arrives on the scene. Cowan is pitched in. There's Gagne. Into the corner. Kirk Muller now. Sikora's on him. Oh, and Nolan gets it out of the zone. Ray Whitney races down the left side. A backhander stayed wide. Nolan, who is number 11 for San Jose. To Janney, back of the net. Whitney out in front. Janney backed it off the net. Here's Jim Kite with a shot that's well off the target. Darby Hendrickson into center ice with a pass to McCowan. Offside against the Maple Leafs. 8 minutes, 24 seconds remaining in the second period. Molson Leaf Hockey on Global.
Today, treat your breath to a whole new cool. New Certs Cool Mint Drops. Cool new box, cool mint drops. With a breath-cooling Retsin center. Treat your breath to new Cool Mint Drops. New from Certs.
I did it.
You did it?
Yep. Called your man over at Midland and Walwyn.
And?
Well, glad I did. He's got my money working hard now instead of just sitting there like it used to.
Nobody likes lazy money.
You know what it is that makes him so good, though? He thinks.
And you think that's important?
Well, yeah, I do.
I think you're right. You got a thinker in your boat. You keep him.
Somebody pinch me.
If there isn't one of these in your home, there should be. The Maple Leafs Wives Daytimer on sale here at Maple Leaf Gardens and at locations around the province. $15 as you saw with all proceeds to the Hospital for Sick Children. Craig, Muller, and Hendrickson for the Leafs. Peterson pops it off the boards. There's Nolan. Hendrickson backed into him. Craig came after the puck. Now Muller arrives, and there's a delayed penalty called now by referee Richard Trottier.
And the Leafs are, the San Jose Sharks are upset that Craig shot the puck after the whistle. I think Darby Hendrickson is the guy going to get the penalty. We have him ISO'd, so we're going to find out whether it's him. It may be Craig. It could have been either one. The referee, an easy decision here. He can't be wrong, whoever he chooses. And Hendrickson gets a penalty for hooking. 8:02 left in the second.
This week at Canadian Tire, you can get a 28-point inspection, oil, lube, filter, and tire rotation, all for just $19.99. Offer ends soon, so hurry into Canadian Tire today.
It's not hooking, it's holding the stick, as Hendrickson will serve 2 minutes or less. The Leafs are getting precariously close to the point where the next goal, the way their offense looks to be sputtering tonight, could put them in an awful hole. They aren't already in one.
They're using Zettler and Ellen as the defense pairing. Berg and Gagne up front to kill off the start of this penalty to Hendrickson. Sharks out of the zone, then Bodger got it right back from Janney and the shoot-in. Drew Potvin, but right to Gagne. Flipped it up in the air, came back to him. Now drives for Owen Nolan. Around the boards toward Doug Bodger. Into the corner to Nolan, out to Whitney. The pass behind him, and Bill Berg will get the Leafs out of there. He's given it to Dave Gagne, who moves it across, only to have it broken up. Now Berg has shot it in. Evan Miller clears it out. Nolan hard around the boards. Off Pot Van Stick this time. Rob Zettler gets some company, but Gilmore backs him up. And it's cleared outside the Leaf zone. Down the left side goes Muller. Driving on Bodger in deep. Ends up on the end boards. The puck beneath them. By the center. Whitney is back. Headed on. Miller at center ice. Cuts inside at the Leaf blue line. Can't get through. Here's Janney to Nolan. Centering pass right back to Janney to the plate and away from Racine as the Leafs catch a break. 37 seconds left in Hendrickson's penalty. San Jose without a shot on goal with the power play thus far, and they're offside at the Toronto blue line. 30 seconds left in this power play for San Jose. Let's see who's in the best seats in the house here tonight. See if you recognize this individual. There's Norm. No, that's not Norm. Norm's in behind the bar there. Norm Files from Hamilton, the winner of the best seats in the house. See the Sharks and the Maple Leafs. Boy, can you beat that?
Well, you can if there's a couple of Molson lights sitting right beside it.
6:30, the time remaining in the second period at Maple Leaf Gardens. Jamie McCowan slaps it up ahead. Here's Gagne with one man back. Bird jumps up in the play, and the pass off the defenseman right to Terreri, and under the pads.
Well, the Leafs have an awful time scoring. First of all, it was an aerial pass that hit the Leaf player in the rear end, and then it turned into the 2-on-1. But Racine stopped the pass across, and it deflected right into Terreri. Here it is right here. The job of the one defenseman back on a 2-on-1 is to not allow the pass. Now, I don't say that was a textbook method of doing it, but nevertheless, it worked. And if the goalie can zero in on the shooter and not worry about the pass across, he has a little bit more chance of turning the 2-on-1 into a useless rush. There's Jim Wiley, played 63 games in the National Hockey League for Pittsburgh and Vancouver, and had coached in Kansas City in the IHL for 3 years before getting this job.
And only a dissertation away from having his doctorate in philosophy, isn't it? Psychology, one of those. Get that many letters into a degree, I'd have trouble with it anyway. Murphy moving up, can't get a stick on it. Kozlov back to Racine. Into the corner toward Murphy as Hendrickson has stepped out of the penalty box. Racine battling for it at the Leaf line. It's popped loose by Murphy on to Gagne. Dave Gagne shoots up Terreri's left arm. And a collision with the net. Gartner has knocked it off. Play called with 5 minutes and 47 seconds left in the second period.
Well, there's a little better angle on this play that Gagne shot as he's coming in on his wrong wing, and you can see there's the stance that Terreri likes, and if he goes down a shade early, there is room up top over his shoulders. And here's another look, but you can see his timing is pretty good. He was on the way down after the shot had been delivered, and he made the stop on Gagne.
36th appearance in the nets for San Jose by Chris Terreri.
This is exactly the kind of a game the San Jose Sharks wanted. They average about 3 goals a game, 4 and 4 against. So when they're sitting there with 5 minutes to go in the second period and 1 against, things are going well for them.
Gartner comes to the right wing, is taken down by Jim Kite. Penalty call coming against the Sharks. Sundin across the gill, fires to get the extra man out. But just now, Tansel handles the puck. And a charging penalty is signaled on Kite.
Jim Kite, playing in his 581st career game in the National Hockey League, thought his career was over as he went to San Diego, or Las Vegas, excuse me, in the International League, and was rescued there a couple of years ago, and here he is putting in his second full year for the Sharks. There's the penalty to Tansel right there for tripping. It wasn't the collision that we thought. Kite got the penalty. So the Leafs, 5:32 to go in the second, get another opportunity on the power play.
Fourth time with the man advantage in this game and an opportunity to get this thing tied at 2.
Terrari's starting to get some votes as one of the 3 stars. He continues this performance up as the Leafs are getting lots of shots and have outchanced the Sharks this period.
Sundin to Gagne to Murphy, now to Gill. Gill's shot is blocked in front. Picked up by Murphy. Shoots off the side of the net. Baker slams it down. Hot man holding it up here. Murphy will come back.
Pat Burns yelling instructions to Richard Trottier. Usually a waste of air.
Murphy has shot it in. It went off Sundin's stick. Now back of the net. Or up towards Baker, who gets it out of there. Gagne comes back. Giving it to Larry Murphy. Murphy shoot in around the boards, cut off. Moore tries the other side of the ice. That bounced off Gill and now cleared all the way down by Jamie Baker. 45 seconds has ticked off in the penalty time against Hansel. Now up to Murphy. Larry Murphy decides to move it up to Gilmore. Rushing it across the line. Gilmore pulling to the right here. Bennett across. Elliott shot is blocked. Came loose at the side of the net. Muller back to Elliott. Elliott fires to a screen, only to have it blocked, and there's Jason Moore. Able to clear the zone. 47 seconds remaining in the Leaf power play.
Toronto making another goalie look good. I'm not knocking Terrari's effort at all, but this has been the story in a lot of games in the last month for the Leafs.
3 shots thus far with the power play. Shoot in here by Elliott up around the glass. Andrechuk can't get to it. It stays in the zone. Muller reaching for it. Kirk Muller in deeper. Andrechuk to Gilmore. Parked back of the net. A lot of traffic around him. He's gotten it loose for Muller. Stavic covering the right point. Back to Muller. In deeper to Gilmore. Turns on Sikora. Centered off the skates of Muller. Right back to Yuskevich. Then to Elliott. Elliott fired it high and wide. Yuskevich can't get to it in time. Tansel steps out of the penalty box. No business on that Leaf power play. Sikora to Tansel. Tansel centers. Whitney shoots. Putt and the save.
Well, that was a great pass by Tansel. He was patient. He waited and put it right on the tape.
He played for Jim Wiley at Kansas City. In the International Hockey League All-Star game a year ago. Great hands. Momesso with a shot. The rebound. Oh, Terrari snagged that. He just robbed Gilmore.
And Gilmore was manhandled by Doug Bodger, and here we go. Sergio Momesso. Right here, the cameraman, about 4 inches away from the nearest participant. It's Odgers again, the tough guy for the Sharks. And what a stop Terrari made to keep this at 2-1.
Just over 3 minutes to play in the period.
When James Horden heard someone was taking on Britain's infamous traffic, he was interested. Traffic Master uses roadway-embedded sensors to instantly warn motorists of trouble ahead. He bought a monitor. And for his clients, 50,000 shares of Traffic Master, which rose 50% within 3 months. 175 portfolio managers, 409 research associates, 38 countries, one vision. Spectrum United. To us, there are no foreign markets.
Well, it must be that time again. It's been 2-3 hours since dinner. Your stomach is... Did you hear that? Breakfast is what, 9...
10 hours away?
Right, honey. Little peckish. Think you can make it? How about a nice big bowl of Kellogg's cornflakes?
Or Special K.
It'll fill you up, but it won't make you feel... It's filling, but not too filling.
Kellogg's cornflakes or Special K before bed. Who'd have thought?
The perfect bedtime snack? I think so.
Welcome back to Maple Leaf Gardens. The visitors are leading this game.
There's that nice pass I mentioned, Tansel. He's had 3 three-point games in the last 12 days. But watch this stop by Terrari. There's one. And then Gilmore comes in for the rebound. He doesn't get all of the puck. And Terrari makes a spectacular stop. Then Momesso and Odgers pick up 2 apiece for roughing after the whistle on the stop by Terrari. 30-14. the shots in favor of the Toronto Maple Leafs. That means 20-5 in this period.
Gagne and Sundin up front with Gill and Murphy on defense. Gill played it back into his own zone. Potvin covers, and wisely so, because racing in quickly was Chris Tansel. Here's what's ahead on the second intermission tonight. Jim Ralph with Rob Zettler. Some Maple Leaf memories. The name Bill Barocco to be remembered tonight. And a look at some out-of-town highlights. And, of course, during our second intermission, Red Hot Trivia for Dirt Devil. Valentine's Day night at Maple Leaf Gardens. Winter of discontent seems to have returned with the snowfall of last night, because the Leafs are trailing, and it does have all the same look to it as that stretch that they went through. 4-on-4 hockey. Tansel waiting for the puck here in the left wing board. Baker up ahead of him. Tansel carries over center, slapped it toward the net. That bounces off the boards and on into the seats.
Both these teams have had trouble playing 4-on-4 this year. The Leafs have had 8 goals scored against them under those circumstances, and the San Jose Sharks 6. Some teams are delighted to get into this situation, 4 skaters against 4. Usually, those are the teams that have the superior offensive defensemen that jump into the rushes and turn a 2-on-2, which you get a lot of playing 4 against 4 hockey, into a 3-on-2. And guys like Coffey and Bork and Leach, boy, they like this. More ice, more time with fewer players.
But San Jose had a guy like that, Harry, and traded him away, Sandis Ozolinsh.
Don't compare Ozolinsh to the 3 I mentioned now, Mr. McDonald.
Well, that 1 year, pretty good numbers.
These guys have done it for 12 or 15 years.
I hear you. Here's Gilmore through a crowd, and it was knocked away, and Nolan has the puck. Owen Nolan, who was traded for Sandis Ozolinsh, fires, snag. Gotcha.
Oh, Nolan can shoot the puck, and that was a long shot. 22 goals he scored, 14 on the power play. And that Gilmore had a great chance here. He almost snakes his way through. And at the last instant, Yves Racine, who's played a good game tonight, poked the puck off Gilmore's stick, or he'd have walked in alone on Chris Terreri. 1:10 left in the penalties to Odgers and Momesso. 2:13 left in the second period. San Jose 2, the Toronto Maple Leafs 1. The Leafs play in Washington Friday night, and we'll bring that one to you. If Jigs does what he says, we'll have President Clinton on at the end of the first period.
That's a lot of pressure.
All right, we'll take Hillary.
Nolan has fed it off. Jerry to the front of the net and off Nolan's stick.
All right, Chelsea's next. We'll take any one of those, Clinton.
Anybody from the White House will do. Here's Gilmore rushing the puck. Gilmore puts it in. How do you do?
Well, a goal similar to the one Odgers got. Gilmore sneaks his way out of his own zone, moves the puck right here, and then heads to the net. And Jason Moore takes him, and Gilmore couldn't have possibly got a shot off, but with one hand, he deflects it over the shoulder of Terreri. A 2-on-2 rush. You should never score on a 2-on-2 rush, but Moore was too soft on the Leaf captain.
Congratulations, Maria Gallego of Pickering. Look what you've won by shopping and using a savings card at Dominion, therefore becoming automatically entered in Score and Win. Maria has won a GE Spacemaker 2 microwave oven. Gilmore's 20th at 18-14. It's a brand new game at 2-2. And still 4-on-4 hockey. Sharks are out of there. Whitney through center and across the Leaf line. Pulls the puck. Feeds it back. Peterson a shot. Peterson goes to it. Juszkiewicz beat him. It'll spin only to the blue line and is dumped in for Peterson. Cross-ice speed. One-timer by Whitney missed. The puck loose at center. Sundin can't get there in time. Racine got back and then just turned and wheeled it down into the Leaf zone. We'll get a play stoppage for an icing, and we're into the final minute of play. Period number 2.
Well, Doug Gilmore who's had a field day against the Sharks this year, scoring his 8th point, and this is 4th game. 4 of them goals. Move the puck, go to the net. And you can see with one hand, he deflected a bouncing puck over Terreri and tied the game up for the Leafs. 12 years with 20 or more for Mr. Gilmour. That's one of the greatest plays in hockey and one that's used too infrequently. Coming up the middle of the rink, pass it to the winger and go straight to the net.
And with that goal, he has tied Sid Smith for 17th place on the Leaf all-time scoring list. 369th point. Took Sid Smith 601 games to amass that total. Tonight is Gilmour's 307th game in a Leaf uniform. Baker puts it out in front. Tapsol's shot went wide. Murphy and Baker go to it. Craig knocked it away from Odgers. Got it outside the line, but Racine is there. Bumped around by Warner, and on comes Hendrickson. One man back. Hendrickson in deep center, and Craig crashes into the net.
Now here's a true definition of going to the net without the puck. Mike Craig, at the last minute, was upended and flew into the net on the pass-across attempt from Hendrickson. I know it seems like a simple play, but when you go to the net, you might score as Gilmour did. You'll force somebody to take you, which isn't a bad idea. Or you're there for a rebound if there is one. And here goes Craig right down the middle, and he beats Racine to the net, but he can't get his stick on the puck. It opens everything up, but it's a rocky road sometimes, and you got to be wanting to take some rough business on the way.
13 seconds left in the period, a 2-2 tie. The Leafs haven't won a game that they've been tied after 2. San Jose, when they've been tied after 2 periods, have won 3. And we'll go to the third, tied at 2-2. Andreychuk put it in after the whistle and after the horn. But we've completed 40 minutes of play between the Maple Leafs and the San Jose Sharks, and your score is the Leafs 2, the Sharks 2.
The LCBO, they want to privatize it. I heard that they said no to over 40,000 customers last year because they were underaged or intoxicated. As a mother, that shows a commitment to social responsibility, and I have to worry less about my children. Buying liquor is not like groceries.
Ontario's LCBO. It's worth holding on to. For more information, call this number. A message from the LCBO employees.
It's already too easy for kids to buy cigarettes.
You know, the members up at Possum Lodge were wondering what they could get if they won the Winterio Classic $100,000 draw. Well, they could get 1,000 cars, or 42 houses, or my suggestion, a really good bass boat. You know, when I reached my midlife crisis, I thought my best fishing was behind me. But with the Winterio Classic $100,000 draw this Thursday night, I still have a chance to reel in a big one. The Winterio $100,000 draw this Thursday. That's a lot of bass.
One song, I have but one song only for you. One heart tenderly beating, ever entreating, constant and true.
I'll be going out with the guys after the game. My treat.
Seems everybody's money has to go further these days. So McDonald's introduces 5 extra value meals at $3.89. Choose from all your favorites like Big Mac, Quarter Pounder with cheese, McChicken, each with small fries and a drink for $3.89. Get the break you need and the meal you want. 5 meals at $3.89.
Great game, guys. I'm taking you all to McDonald's. Your break today.
Welcome back to Molson Leaf Hockey on the Global Television Network. Tied at 2 after 2. Big goal by Doug Gilmour late in the second to hopefully spark the Leafs. Monday night, Rob Zettler making the most of an opportunity with some physical play against the Pittsburgh Penguins. And he, of course, is taking advantage of an injury problem on the Maple Leaf blue line. You can't be deep enough at playoff time. And Rob Zettler standing by with Jim Ralph.
Thanks, Jim. Robbie, you look at Doug Gilmour's goal. It comes first goal of the period for you on the 21st shot. How big is that?
It's huge. I mean, we go in tied instead of down one. You know, we've had over 30 shots on goals. Terrari's played really well. We've had our chances, but we just haven't buried them. And that seems to be our nemesis over the last 12 or 13 games. So hopefully we can get a couple more here in the third and get rolling.
Well, it has been a recurring nightmare. Now, for you, you did not play in all of the games during the slump. Is it harder to watch, or is it harder to be a part of it?
It's a lot harder to watch, believe me. It's not fun being up in the press box. It feels good to get a couple games in a row in, and you know, you want to be part of the highs and you want to be part of the lows of the team. You want to go through everything together as a team, and it's great to be in.
Now, Jamie McCowan, we had on in the first intermission, who played a great game against Pittsburgh. You've got to be thrilled with your performance in that game as well, the whole defensive core.
Yeah, it was great. We lost Dave Ellett. We basically played 4 defense for the second half of the game, and probably the most ice time I've gotten in a year, so it felt pretty good. It was, you know, it was great to contribute. I got a couple good hits in. My timing was on, and you know, the more you play, the better you play, I think, and it was nice to have a chance to get some ice time.
Thanks, Ed.
Anytime.
Unlike most colds, the flu can put you away. To help you escape the misery of flu's 4 main symptoms, there's new Benylin for Flu. It has the strength to bring down a fever, the strength to relieve aches and pains, ease coughing, unlock chest and nasal congestion, and so aid restful sleep. New Benylin for Flu, dedicated to flu relief.
You know why Harvey's makes a really great burger? Because they char-broil it. Yep. Right before your eyes. And you decide what goes on. There's all kinds of great toppings. 9 of them. Whatever you want, any way you want it. They load it up right there in front of you. There's nothing better. $1.69? I stand corrected.
Harvey's famous hamburger. Now for a limited time, just $1.69.
No, that's the best.
There are no medals for being the shoulder to cry on. No awards for passing on traditions. But to the men who give their best every day, we give our best. Gillette Sensor XL. Spring-mounted twin blades that adjust to your face. And soft, flexible microfins that set up your beard. And Gillette Series shaving gel for incredible smoothness. Sensor XL for the closest, most comfortable shave ever. Gillette, the best a man can get.
Global Television presents the Molson Canadian $10,000 tabletop hockey tournament. Go one-on-one against members of the Toronto Maple Leafs and you could win 10 grand. To enter, mail tonight's trivia answer to Global Television, care of Molson Canadian Hockey Night in Toronto. Name the player who holds the Leafs record for most goals in one game by a rookie. The Molson Canadian $10,000 tabletop tournament from Global Television.
All entrants must be 19 years of age or older.
Deuces are wild at the Gardens. 2-2 after 2. Coming up next, Dirt Devil Red Hot Trivia. Stay with us.
Dirt Devil presents Red Hot Trivia. Brought to you by Dirt Devil, makers of the MVP vacuum. Nothing escapes the power of a Dirt Devil. Who were the only 2 players to score 5 goals in a game for the Winnipeg Jets? We'll have the answer right after this.
Put the power of an upright in the palm of your hand with a Dirt Devil hand vac. It's lightweight, powerful, and has a revolving brush to deep clean any surface. Put it to work for you, and you'll see why nothing escapes the power of a Dirt Devil. We're proud to announce that this model not only passed that famous ball bearing test, it surpassed it. It's the Dirt Devil MVP with maximum vacuum power. Just think what it can do in your home.
Who are the only two players to score 5 goals in a game for the Winnipeg Jets? Need a hint? The record occurred 13 years apart from each other. And the last player to score 5 for the Jets led his team in scoring in 94-95 with 65 points in 48 games. Alexei Zhamnov scored 30 goals, and 5 of them came on April 1st, 95 against the LA Kings.
Into the blue line, and now down the right side, Zhamnov looking again, he shoots, he scores! What a boom! His 5th of the game!
I still remember this time of year, because I have a big memory, and like 5 goals in one game, it's, big time for me, I think, and for this team.
The only other player to score 5 goals in a game is a Winnipeg Jet. Played 4 years with the Jets from 1979 to 1983. In 288 games with the Jets, Willie Lindstrom scored 98 goals and 189 points. And on March 2nd, 1982, he scored 5 goals, a new team record. Alexei Zhamnov in 1995 and Willie Lindstrom in 1982. 5 goals in a game with the Winnipeg Jets. Another red-hot trivia. Brought to you by Dirt Devil, makers of the MVP vacuum. Nothing escapes the power of a Dirt Devil.
The Aquafresh Flex Direct has a unique directable head for cleaning those hard-to-reach places. Let's see how easy it cleans. Through the slalom. Watch that head bend. It's also gentle on your gums. The Aquafresh Flex Direct. It really uses its head.
If you're like me, you know the importance of contributing to your RSP. It's one of the most significant financial decisions any of us can make. And that's why you should consider investing with CI Mutual Funds. At CI, you can choose from a range of 20 Canadian and international funds. And you have the assurance that your RSP will be managed by some of the most respected money managers in the world. Now, your financial advisor knows CI Mutual Funds. All you have to do is ask.
When a puck is flying at you at 90 miles an hour, you've got to stay totally focused. I can't let hunger get in my way, so I grab a Snickers.
Packed with peanuts, milk chocolate, and caramel. Nothing stops your hunger like a Snickers.
Excuse me, coming through.
When your stomach growls, wolf one down.
Of all the colors I wear, the most important thing I put on leaves no color behind.
Soft and dry gel antiperspirant. Odor and wetness protection with no white chalky residue.
Clear enough?
Soft and dry clear gel.
The Maple Leaf Hockey Club has provided heroes in history since its inception in 1927. Tonight, a cup-winning goal that sparked a Maple Leaf legend on Memories, brought to you by Chevy Trucks. Chevy Trucks, like a rock.
Like a rock, I was strong as I could be. Like a rock, nothing ever got to me.
Introducing the most powerful line of engines ever in a Chevy truck, Vortec.
Like a rock.
Chevy, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road.
The 1951 final was a 5-game overtime marathon between Toronto and Montreal. The Leafs hero would be the last man to wear number 5 for Toronto, Bill Barilko. Like the previous 4 games, Game 5 went to extra time. This winning goal on a pass from Howie Meeker was shot on film from the stands by a fan. Barilko, as almost everyone knows, died in a plane crash the following summer, giving this goal a life of its own. It's our focus tonight on Memories, brought to you by Chevy Trucks. Chevy Trucks, like a rock.
Welcome back to the Gardens. It's 2-2 after 2. We'll see if yet another Gilmore goal will spark the Leafs. 4 other games going on tonight. Florida getting the big test against Philadelphia, and Don Martin can show us what happened there.
Yes, James. Eastern Conference superpowers colliding at Miami Arena tonight. 2 versus 3 in the Atlantic Division. We'll pick it up less than 3 minutes to go in the first period. John Van Biesbroek coughs it up behind the net. John LeClaire kicks it out front to Dan Quinn. Into the empty net. Philadelphia leads it 1-0. The Panthers will equalize before the end of the period on a great individual effort by Ed Jovanovski. The rookie goes around Rob DeMeo, then beats Ron Hextall, game tied at 1 after 20. Hexy probably in line for more heat than the coach, but the Flyers pick him up. Anatoly Semenov around Paul Laus, then a nice move to beat Van Biesbroek. 3-1 Philly in the second intermission. We'll have more after the game, the full story on Sportsline at 11:30. Let's go back to the Gardens and Jim Taddy.
Thank you, Don. This NHL update sponsored by the Bank of Montreal. It is possible, yes. The Boston Bruins could shut out Hartford 3-0 in the third period. Zombo, Tocchet, and Donato have scored so far there. LA against Buffalo. Gretzky not in the lineup due to a hip injury. Perreault and Lacroix, former Leafs, scoring for the Kings. Ray has scored for Buffalo. In the other game, just about to get underway, Anaheim is in Edmonton, and the score here, 2-2 after 2. The third period is next. You're watching Molson Leaf Hockey on the Global Television Network.
Dun, da, 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 ba, da, da, na, 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 ba, da, 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 da. Somebody pinch me.
Starting today, Cool has a whole new look, shape, and taste. New Certs Cool Mint Drops. Cool new box, Cool Mint Drops. Totally new taste with a breath-cooling Retsin Center. Starting today, treat your breath to a whole new Cool. Cool Mint Drops, new from Certs.
Retirement, June 2020. Retirement income, $40,000 a year. Required savings. Fiction? No. Reality. Get a reality check on your RRSP. Call today. We'll let you know how much you need and send you a confidential action plan designed to help you reach your target. We can provide the facts required to help make your retirement goals become reality.
Duracell, you can't top the Copper Top.
Promotional consideration provided by Bayer, the makers of coated aspirin. For the relief of joint, body, and arthritic pain.
Our spotlight tonight is on Doug Gilmour, number 93, the captain of the Leafs. He was robbed early in the second period on a chance to score, and a nice play there by Racine. But on this play, he thinks it up, he engineers it, and then he finishes it off. As he goes to the net here, Jason Moore lets him go, and with one hand, he deflects a bouncing puck over Terreri to tie the game for the Leafs.
And the Sports Select play of the second period, brought to you by Sports Select. It's got to be the Gilmour goal, doesn't it? You're watching him come up ice. Sent it off to Muller, got it back. One hand. 2-2's the score on that goal at 18:14 of the second period. The Sports Select play of the period. And here's the second period summary brought to you by Valvoline Canada and the Valvoline family of products. People who know use Valvoline. Game was tied 1-1. Odgers untied it. His fifth goal from Tansel at 6:47. And then the goal you just saw, Doug Gilmour's 20th, set up by Muller at 18:14. All the work done by Gilmour, as Harry said, engineered it, and look at the difference in shots on goal. 21-8 in the period, 31-17 in the game. Terreri is to the left, Potvin to the right. And here comes period 3.
Chances to score in the second period. Toronto 6, San Jose 3. Shots always don't tell you the whole story, but the Leafs played better in the second than they did in the first, and they're back in it.
And so to start the play for San Jose. Off Baker's stick, Rogers rides Yuskevich to the boards, and Ty Domi tries to move it up on the right wing boards. Hendrickson there to help as well, and it bounced back to McCowan. Nice outlet, but Hendrickson couldn't gather in the pass. Terreri lets it slide and then plays it. And the Sharks just get it out to center ice. McCowan and Yushkevich moving it back and forth. Dmitry Yushkevich to Jamie McCowan. Shoot in from center ice. Hard around, as it turns out. Doug Bodger to Miller. And now toward Janney, and it's knocked away off his stick. Dave Ellett to Gilmore. Just one touch to toward Muller, and that didn't work. Gilmore's got it again. Gave it to Ellett. Now back to Gill. Gill's pass was blocked by Miller. Ellett there to help. Gill able to recover. Kirk Muller into center ice to Andrechuk, who cuts into the middle. Tough one off the defenseman. Off the goal post as well. Sharks trying to come out. That kind of a night for the Leafs. Here's Janney over the Toronto line. Cuts inside, shoots. That went wide on a deflection. A wrap around, stays wide, and Kirk Muller will get it out for Toronto. Peterson pops it right back in again. He played 2.5 minutes. Bad math, making 1.5 minutes. Here's Sundin breaking in. Backhander is denied. Victor Kozlov unable to bring it up ice now. As he picks it up, a penalty is called. 18-13, the time remaining in this period.
Peterson trying to run a little interference again and hauls the Leaf player down. So the Leafs will get a power play coming up early here in the third period on an obstruction type penalty, the most popular penalty called this year in the National Hockey League. And you're going to see it coming up right here. There it is right there. As you can see, Peterson stuck a stick out to try and help Big Kozlov out as the rush out of the zone and pulled Sundin down, or Gartner down, and the Leafs have a power play.
Fifth opportunity with the man advantage. Matt Burns gets a power play unit out on the ice that has Sundin with Gagne and Gartner. Allen and Murphy on the points. San Jose, Doug Bodger able to play it off the boards. Mothman in the exchange here with Murphy. Larry Murphy. Dave Ellett off his stick and cleared back and hit Miller. Well, Miller is able to shoot it in, and Tansel is in after it. Chris Tansel tied up on the boards. Murphy takes control of the puck here. Gagne went back to get a new stick. Murphy gave him a little time. Now moves the puck. Sundin is across the line with a pass from the left wing for Gagne. Shoots. That stayed high on a deflection and ends up in the seats.
Dave Gagne, 2-game point streak. 1 goal, 1 assist. Coming into tonight's game. 698th career game in the National League. The newest of Maple Leafs.
Leafs setting up this power play. Muller, Andrechuk, Murphy, Gilmore, and now Sundin, who celebrated his 25th birthday yesterday. As you see him there, drops back to play the left point.
Well, Kenny Johnson, of course, was the familiar point partner in the power play with Murphy, but we all know he's gone for a long time. So Sundin often plays half the power play back there.
San Jose had won the draw. The puck got back to Murphy and then in toward Gilmore. Knocked away, takes Moore down, and the Sharks are out of the zone. Jamie Baker cutting inside, shoots just wide. Murphy plays it toward the point. Handled out by Gilmore. Muller with him. Kirk Muller across the line. Gilmore is hauled down. There's another penalty call against San Jose, giving the Leafs a 5-on-3 advantage.
Well, the Sharks are still hollering about what they thought was a trip in their own zone by a Leaf player. And on this rush, Jason Moore got caught flat-footed right here. And there goes Gilmore down. And I think they're giving 2 penalties on the play, 1 to Moore and 1 to Gilmore.
Well, at this point, Gilmore is the only player that's gone to the box.
He's getting a diving penalty. So all that hollering from the San Jose bench was not worth it. And now it's starting from the Leaf bench. As Gilmore felt the tug as he was stepping by Jason Moore and went down. And we remember the first penalty of the game against the Sharks was a similar one on Gilmore. And I think Trottier remembers that he might have made a mistake on that one, and so he won't let Gilmore away with it twice in the same game.
Isn't that something? I thought, well, dare I say that Paul Stewart was the only one who called the diving penalties?
They should call the diving penalties. I mean, it's a tough call, but you put your arm up, you've got another second to make your decision. Dive or hook, and sometimes I've seen them both called in the same play. A diving hook.
4-on-4 hockey, 38 seconds remaining in the penalty against Peterson. Ray Whitney trying to go around Gill, ends up on the boards. Gill has the puck. Gill rides him off the puck. Battle here between Ellen and Kozlov. Loose momentarily for Gartner. Ray Whitney off the far boards. Trying to move it in deeper. Did give it to Victor Kozlov. So Dave Elliott will go back. Organizes the play. The Sharks starting to change up. Elliott is out of the zone, as you see. Miss Muller with the pass. And as Bodger put a stick on it, that's an icing call against the Maple Leafs.
Being oneself, styled expressionist, punctuating the ordinary, searching innermost pockets for your ID, detecting the truthfulness necessary to unapologetically say, this is the way I am.
Well, yeah, they're away. Just me. Yep, well, just making a snack. Yeah, sparks and stuff. It could get to be kind of a pain. It's not totally under control. It's the what? Circuit breaker. Where? In the basement.
If you have Zurich personal insurance, you have Zurich Assist.
On the wall.
The 24-hour line
I'm on.
for on-the-spot help. If not, Zurich or panic.
Welcome back to Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto. Glenn Sather, the general manager of the Edmonton Oilers, is with me. And Glenn, the Prospects game you're in town for tomorrow night. You've seen a lot of these kids during the season. How much of an advantage is it to see them in one showcase game?
Well, it gives you a great vehicle for comparing everybody against each other in one hockey game. And you got to remember that we've seen them for 3 days in their skill competitions, so you get a pretty good idea of, out of this 40, who's going to be able to play and who can't play. So I think it's a real advantage for us.
Now, I'd be remiss if I didn't ask or try to fuel another trade rumor out of Toronto. Brian Marchment coming to the Leafs is one of the rumors here. Have there been any discussions, or can you deny it?
No, it's absolutely true. Sundin and Gilmore are going for Marchment. It will be announced after the game.
Well, I was trying to get a scoop, but thanks anyway, Glenn.
You're welcome.
Let's go back upstairs.
Oh, you got to admire the sense of humor.
Right, he never quits trying that, Sather. I hope he ends up coaching Team Canada in the World Cup. We all know what a good job he did when he was a coach. He hasn't done it for a while. It'd be nice to see him behind the bench again.
Now the San Jose Sharks just clubbed one at the Leaf line. They had the power play set up. And now Bill Berg has popped it back at that San Jose goal, and they'll start out again. Olin Nolan rushes it to center ice. Nolan, Janney, one of the league's best playmakers, puts it in front. There's Nolan, and the little turnaround backhander is blocked and shot out of there. Ferrari to play it here as Gilmore raced in. He's out of the box, obviously, after serving that diving penalty. Game tied 2-2. Zettler with the puck at center ice. Sorts things out. Sharks changing up. Muller. A little too far for Hendrickson on that pass. Racine turns it to the far side of the ice. Here's Kozlov. Sharks completing their changes as Kozlov has shot it in. Yegorov in after it. Now Kozlov puts it in front. What did he? Yegorov, who couldn't get a stick on it. Kozlov unable to handle it. Here's Yegorov again. Is checked by Hendrickson. Bob Zettler to get it out of there for Toronto. Up off the boards, but it was blocked by Kozlov. The pass to Whitney, and he's offside. That was close.
Two great passes by Kozlov. You can see why he was taken 6th overall in the '93 draft. One of the better passers in the National Hockey League, Craig Janney. And he has put some passes over to some pretty superior wingers, Neely and Hull. And it must be a treat to play with Janney if you're a winger who knows where to go. 342 assists in the last 5 years, plus this year. Only Gretzky, Oates, Coffey, and Gilmore have more. And against the Toronto Maple Leafs, Janney has been very productive. 7 goals, 24 assists for 34 points.
Well, I hope you had the VCR running on that. There's some classic movement of the puck there by Janney, especially that one to Adam Oates. Wow.
You know what you like about those players, all the ones that we mentioned, including Janney, is they see things that very few other players see. You know, I've often said about Gretzky, and it's true to a lesser degree perhaps about Oates and Janney and these guys, is that it looks like they can see out of their ears. What it is they've had a look before, and they know where the guy's coming, and they throw it over apparently to no one, and what do you think happens when it gets there? There's someone waiting for it. So Nolan is the recipient of all kinds of nice passes from Craig Janney. 83 points in 529 games, and this is his 84th consecutive game as a San Jose Shark.
Now Bill Berg, Sergio Momesso, and Ty Domi out for the Leafs. Ellett to Gill. And a screen set up in front. And Rogers will bring it up for San Jose, moves it on to Tanso. Ellett takes him. Gill went to the puck. Momesso got it to the blue line. Domi reaching around Rogers, on to Berg. Domi breaks to the blue line as Berg shot it in. Domi runs into Sikora. Berg tracks down a loose puck. Back of the net to Domi. Domi tumbles to the deck. And he gets some help. No call. Here are the Sharks across the line. Baker with it. Amy Baker. A backhander by Kite. Loose puck at the side of the Leaf net. Rogers has it now. Gill takes him to the boards. In and out of some skates. Berg knocked it loose. Baker centered. Oh, Momesso was able to get a stick on it. Nice setup for Tansel, and he couldn't handle it. And Chris Tansel gets checked. Momesso bumps him again. Tight. Hard shoot in here for San Jose. They continue to make player changes. Gagne is out now for Toronto. That's the puck to Dave Ellett. Ellett puts it up high into the San Jose zone. Here's Matt Sundin with a shot that went wide. Domi lets it go. Yuskevich puts it on the target. San Jose just able to clear it out. Dmitry Yuskevich flips it right back in again. All down by Moore. That led us too far for Janney. McCowan can't get it to Gartner. Sundin now moves it to Gartner, who's over the line. Gagne headed to the net. The pass didn't work. Here's Janney across the Leaf line. He is able to set up Miller to the blue line to Racine. A long shot stayed wide, and McCowan gathers it in. McCowan to Sundin. Gagne up ahead, accepting the pass. Is over the line. Can't get it back to Sundin. He outbattles Racine. Centers. Gartner. Oh, scores! Gartner went up top.
Boy, it came out in a big hurry, and you can expect an argument from the Sharks. But the video goal judge may have the last say on this one. Al Daw is sitting up in the video goal judge box, and he'll verify. Did it go in or not? Up top. A great pass after Sundin fights off the checker. And Gartner, he thinks he scored. Look at the top of the net now. No doubt about that. It hit the back bar.
For 11, Mike Gartner.
Gartner with his second of the game and 27th of the season. And here we go again with our score and win contest. Laurie Bianco of Pickering qualified by using a savings card at Dominion. And as a result, Laurie has won a Texas Instruments personal organizer.
Well, he was one behind Ullman when this game started, and now he's one ahead. 19th on the all-time NHL scoring list. 36 years old, still the fastest guy in the NHL. If he was a racehorse, he'd have been living on a stud farm for 25 years. But a hockey player, he's still playing. Sundin makes a good play because he gets an initial chance on the rush. And then he steals the puck away on the play from Yves Racine and shovels it out to Gartner, who stuck it upstairs in a big hurry.
8:03, the time of the goal. We're in the third period, and to this stage of the third period, the Sharks have not had a shot on goal. The Leafs have had 5. But Toronto leads 3-2. Let's take another look at this goal.
Well, Gartner's put one under the bar twice. The first one was a bullet shot, and here the second one. After the turnover, 2 players go to Sundin. That gives Gartner the space and the time to make that play.
Now the Leafs play the puck into the San Jose zone following the draw. Gilmore tying up Racine. Kurt Muller knocked it loose. Peterson is taken down by Muller's check, and play continues, and Peterson is shaken up. Trying to struggle and get himself off the ice. Meantime, Gilmore accepting the passes over the San Jose line, only to be checked. Ray Whitney turns it up ice. Here's Kozlov off the left wing. Pulls up, shoots, just missed. Kurt Muller for Toronto. Andrew Tuck moves out with him. 4 Sharks get back. Muller's shot is steered aside. Comes to the blue line and then outside the line. Hendrickson taking it from Muller is turned back. McCowan with a shoot in. In goes Todd Warner. Warner centers. Hendrickson bats it out of the air. It's underneath Chris Terreri. Terreri has faced 38 Leaf shots. Missed 3 of them.
Nothing added, nothing taken away.
This is fine print. Its natural habitat is down at the bottom of an ad, often one promising you tremendous savings on long distance. It hides there in the desperate hope that it won't be noticed. Because if you did notice it, you'd realize that the savings being promised might not be as big as they seem, and that you can get competitive savings from Bell. Funny how with all that type, they managed to forget that.
The closed captioning of the third period is being brought to you by Regal Capital Planners. Over 25 years helping Canadians reach financial independence.
Tom Peterson got hurt in this play. As you can see, he got hooked from behind by Muller. And it must be an injury he's already had, because he certainly wasn't hit very hard. But he looked in third degree of pain as he went to the bench. 10:58 to go. Toronto coming from behind, a 2-1 deficit, now leads 3-2.
Bill Berg to take the face-off. Lomesso to the left, Domi to the right. McCowan and Yuskevich on defense. That's Baker waiting for veteran linesman Bob Hodges to put the puck in play. He did, and it goes out of play. These 2 linesmen tonight, Hodges and Stickle, combined for over 3,400 regular season NHL games. Can you get any more experience than that in one game?
Just think of the number of times these 2 Cowboys have blown the whistle. It must be millions.
We're back to get another
they've blown the odd offside, too, but think of how many times they've blown the whistle.
Leon is still waiting for a Stanley Cup ring from the New York Islanders.
Oh, that's a dirty trick.
McCowan steps into one that was wide.
Of course, Jiggs is referring to an offside call he missed against Philadelphia.
And he knew he missed it. I mean, annually. Say, do you think he got my ring? Have you seen Torrey? Has he got my ring for me? You can't beat hockey humor. Little scuffle, nothing too serious in the Leaf end of the ice.
This week at Canadian Tire, you can get a 28-point inspection, oil, lube, filter, and tire rotation, all for just $19.99. Offer ends soon, so hurry into Canadian Tire today.
Chris Tansel tries that old diagonal shoot in here, hoping for a nice bounce off the boards. It looked like it was offside to me, but you can see the Sharks had 2 players to the 1 Leaf, and a smart play by Potvin to get the whistle.
10 minutes, 46 seconds to play in the third period. The Leafs leading 3-2. He's trying to get themselves sorted out here. Gilmore is there to take the face-off against Baker. wins it. Cowan puts it on the boards toward Sergio Momesso. Cleared it out. Domi races to the left side, battling Kite. Domi feeds it cross ice. Here's Bill Berg with a shot that was blocked. And San Jose is out of there as Baker moved it on. Rogers with a shoot in off the boards. Baker over on the far side. Let it go through. It's taken by Berg. Down the boards and out. Sikora having trouble with it. Got it into the center ice zone, and as Owen Nolan accepted the pass, he was flattened. Crowd reacting to that hit as the Leafs shoot it down the ice. Jason Moore will put a stick on it. Icing against Toronto. Midway through the third period.
Well, I mentioned that the Leafs have been not nearly as physical tonight as they were Saturday against Buffalo or Monday against Pittsburgh, but one guy that has been is Ty Domi. And he's got about a six-pack of pretty good checks under his belt tonight, and there's one on Owen Nolan. And he gives Baker the treatment along the glass at the south end of Maple Leaf Gardens. So, you know, when you're out there against Domi and you're a defenseman going back to get the puck, you want to know where this guy is. And you might make a play before you want to because you know he's coming.
He's in the area. Gilmore again on the draw, that time against Janney. He's playing it up the left wing boards. Muller got it out toward Gilmore. Miller was on him, and Muller for the Leafs gave it to Dave Ellett. Off the boards toward Gilmore, but Janney is standing there. So is Jay Moore. Here's Dave Ellett. Couldn't find the puck. Oh, Gill drops back. Miller moved in quickly. Oh, a hard slash. Nolan went down. Andrechuk got away with it. Gilmore bumped by Nolan, but Gill backs him up. Cleared it out of the zone. Greg Janney is there. Janney too far for Moore on that pass. Montag decides to get a play stoppage. The Sharks are over to appeal to referee Richard Trottier on the slash thrown by Andrechuk.
Now, that was a pretty good one. Andrechuk is getting a little bit of a warning, I think, from Owen Nolan that wasn't much appreciated. And I really think Trottier missed one here. Can't see it there. He was right there. If he didn't see it, he should have been able to hear it if it was as bad as Bodger said it was. Here's another look right here. Oh, yes. I would say it would have been between the outfielders in a baseball game. I don't know whether Andrechuk would have got the third, but he would have made it the second. And Nolan's still complaining about it, and with a little bit of evidence. Now, here's one of the great baton exchanges since the '62 Olympics. He grabs the one, but it's the wrong stick, so he gets his own now. It's lucky he didn't end up with Beaupre's goal stick, the way things were going there.
Oh, Alfie Samuelson did that in the Ranger game at Tampa Bay. Did you see that?
You get a penalty?
Yeah.
Legal stick, yeah.
Andy Van Helleman was refereeing that game.
Can you imagine if Samuelson started laying the goal stick across?
Oh, man. Here's Racine with a shot that's blocked by Andrechuk. Oh, Nolan right on him. And it's flipped over the boards by Dave Ellett. Nolan and Andrechuk said, how do you do once more?
Well, I think Nolan feels a little bit better now. He got a shot at the guy that gave him the three-hander. Right off the draw, Nolan knows where Andrechuk's going. Andrechuk blocks the shot, and it sits in his feet. And while he's trying to find it, Nolan runs into him, but Andrechuk, a fair-sized guy, doesn't go down.
Now the Sharks still in that lead zone. Gill tying up Miller. Muller able to bring it up. Andrechuk and Nolan again. Miller back to the net. Centers, and it's knocked away by Muller. Comes right out in front. Peterson gets it to the doorstep. The scramble is on. The puck frozen for a face-off. Just under 9 minutes to play in the third period at Maple Leaf Gardens.
Building, blocks of time passing by, biographies of unforgettable characteristics, and stones bouncing off a backbone buried deep in your own backyard. Why? Because I am.
Lotterio, Ontario's favorite lottery, invites you to start sharpening your aim for Lotterio's Aim to Win Dart Tour. Give it your best shot and take aim at over $250,000 in prizes, including the grand prize package of 2 airline tickets to anywhere in the world Canadian Airlines flies, $5,000 cash, and a Road Trek camper van. So make winning your aim. Presented by Global Television, Lotterio's Aim to Win Dart Tour is coming to a mall near you. Ready? Aim to win.
Just for young Maple Leaf fans, the Buds Club. For more information, there's the number to dial, 416 area code 596-3365. Leafs Club for kids. There's one.
He's in the Buds Club. You can tell. There's another Buds Club.
And the Big Buds are leading the San Jose Sharks 3-2. 8 minutes, 40 seconds to play in the third period. I'm Jinx McDonald with Harry Neal, Jim Patty, Jim Ralph as well. Gavich to Sundin. Matt Sundin playing his 100th game in a Leaf uniform tonight. He assisted on that goal by Gartner to untie the sport. He assisted on Gartner's first goal of the night as well. Gartner off the boards to Sundin. Taken off the play. The dump in will go right to Potvin, and that's being called back on an offside.
Well, the Leafs have to realize that the San Jose Sharks will be gambling a little bit now. Defenseman jumping into the rush, defenseman pinching more aggressively and more often. And Pat Burns has had to sweat this baby out as the Leafs have not played nearly as well tonight as they did on Saturday or Monday, but they have a chance to get another 2 points with 8:12 to go in the third period, up 1 goal.
Your pal's back, Harry.
I'd like to get that horn. No, I can't.
Can you play that?
Nobody'd play it if I ever got my hands on it.
Well, that could be arranged. Take that over Bill Clinton. Shoot in here by San Jose. Newt Gingrich called, by the way. He volunteered.
He wants to get on.
Gavich trying to move it out.
We're going to have ball on in Washington. Don't miss the game. We may have time to show you the odd goal.
Peterson, a long pass broken up by Yushkevich. Off the boards to Gartner, tipped it towards Sundin. He's over the line with Gagne. Gagne to Sundin. There it is. Oh, that was pretty.
Well, a coach's nightmare, a turnover at your own blue line, and that's what happened, and here's what resulted. You can see that Moore can't get the puck up the ice past Sundin, who gives it to Gagne, who gets it back, and away we go. Here's the turnover right here. Sorry, Yves Racine was the guy that gave it away, and it ended up in the net. And the guy that stripped Racine of the puck ended up scoring the goal.
Carla Shabini of East York. Shopped at Miracle Food Mart. Used that savings card and automatically entered. Score and win. Congratulations, Carla. The Casa 20-piece dinnerware set on its way to you. Sundin, his 25th goal. He was 25 years old yesterday. And at 12:27 of the third period, the Leafs have some breathing room. The Sharks are into the zone. It's a corner shot. He scores! That caught something in front of the net.
The big line. Tansel, Odgers, and Baker end up getting another goal here, so this one's not quite in the bag yet. A hard point shot that was tipped by the captain, Jeff Odgers. Here's a shot by Sikora, and Odgers tipped it. Or was it Baker? And they have amassed 29 points in the last nearly 8 games, and this one will make it 30 points. They are carrying the load offensively for the Sharks and have got them back in this game.
All 3 goals tonight from this line. Tansel in on it again. Odgers credited with the goal.
It's another 3-point night for Tansel. That's the 4th time in 14 days he scored 3 points. What has he been doing in Kansas City is my question.
I wish I could answer. Sharks are right back in with a shot that's blocked.
Learning how to score, I think.
Baker puts it out in front. Tansel went to the puck, but it was knocked away by Warner, and on comes Murphy. Things open up for him. He shoots. No problem for Terreri. Saw it all the way. 6.5 minutes to go in this third period.
Well, Matt Sundin is one of 7 different Toronto Maple Leaf players who have led NHL teams in scoring. He led 2 of them in scoring, Toronto and Quebec, 114 points in 92-93. Gilmore led the Leafs and St. Louis in scoring, and Gartner and Murphy led Washington in respective years. Anderchuk, Buffalo, Gagne, Dallas, and Muller, New Jersey. How many teams have 7 guys that have led teams, 7 players that have led teams in scoring? I thought you just might want to know that.
No, I'm sorry.
But I can see you're nodding off to sleep.
Listening intently, Harry. Making notes. Gilmore crossed that San Jose line, but he was without the puck, and the whole thing is offside. Situation is this. The Leafs lead 4-3. They have outshot San Jose 40-20.
Well, this guy here has really come around. When he came into the league, all he was supposed to do was rescue opponents that maybe were threatened with a fight. You can see by his nose, he's been in the odd fight, but he's starting to be an effective winger on the highest scoring line at the moment for these San Jose Sharks.
He spends more time at hospitals, more time on public service missions, teaching kids to skate. He's all over the San Jose area.
Well, he holds the record for the franchise with games played. This is number 307. And he hasn't taken an easy stride in any of them, and is a great example of a guy who got in the league with his determination and toughness and now has refined his skills a little bit. I don't know how this guy got in the league. That's the question I have.
He's looking for you.
Oh boy. Quebec Nordique, I remember him there, hoping he'd fall out of that upper deck. That's a nice shot here. Oh, yeah, he's a wonderful addition to Maple Leaf Gardens. Take him out to Riverdale and throw him in the zoo for a couple of weeks.
How do you really feel about him?
Well, that last shot backs up all my comments on it.
Okay, Gilmore lifts one out in front. Bang wide on a backhander by Muller. Gilmore battling on the end boards. The puck came loose. Doug Roger gets it out of there. Right back over the line is Muller with a shot. Up high on Chris Terreri. Roger to handle it again. Long pass toward Nolan. Steps over center and across the Leaf line. Nolan fires. Putt and knocked it down, and McCowan was able to clear it. This is Doug Gilmore. He's put on a show tonight, hasn't he? Now McCowan comes to center ice. Hard in off the boards. Bounced right out in front. Leafs in the middle of a change. Here's Jeff Hodgers with a shoot-in. Larry Murphy takes it for the Leafs. Hansel got to him, but Murphy able to get away from the check. Moved it to Gartner. Down to Sundin. Gagne down the left side as he come over the line. Gartner takes the pass. Can't get it out in front to Gagne. Gartner around the boards. Sundin waiting for it. Gave it to Dave Gagne. Now to Gartner. Gartner spun it towards the net. Off the stick of Hodgers and right to goaltender Chris Terreri. Just under 5 minutes to play in the third period now.
Can't seem to find my tickets. I must have left them in my other fanny pack. Fellas?
All in favor of kicking Chris out of the fan club, say aye.
Aye. Okay, fine. I'll just take my baked Tostitos with me.
Baked? How good can they be?
What do you think?
Tailgate party!
Hey, I found the tickets. Really?
No, not really.
2 scoops.
Sound the alarm. Come on!
Wait, it's Kellogg's Raisin Bran.
2 scoops of raisins in Kellogg's Raisin Bran.
2 scoops.
Yeah.
Kellogg's Raisin Bran cereal is your ticket to see Sunset Boulevard, Andrew Lloyd Webber's new hit musical in Toronto. When you buy 1 ticket, get the second one free. Compliments of Kellogg's Raisin Bran. See full details in store.
We're at Maple Leaf Gardens tonight. The Leafs leading 4-3. That's Sundin on the face-off. Gartner with them. as is Gagne, and the Leafs have to chase it. That's Murphy headed back. Larry Murphy, Hansel moving in on him, so he spins it to the other side of the ice, then hit the deck on a hard check. Baker with a turnaround, pad saved by Potvin. It's off the glass, Racine gets checked, and Gartner goes down right wing. Gartner's drive is blocked. Gartner has 2 tonight. Maybe the first lead for the hat trick this season. 4 minutes, 10 seconds remaining in this third period. Gartner unable to recover inside the San Jose zone. This is Dave Ellett. Up off the boards, too far for Gartner. Peterson able to give it to Racine. And to Kozlov, who tipped it towards center ice. The pass off Warner's skates as the Leafs can't get over that San Jose line. Now they do. It's Todd Warner. Centers it in front off the stick of Terreri. Sakura is checked. Now San Jose moves it out. This is Ray Whitney with a pass that was partially blocked. Jeff Friesen picked it up. Now checked by Yushkevich. Along the boards, held in by San Jose. Whitney drives to the net. The pass was there. Now Friesen to Whitney. That's broken up and cleared up by Yushkevich. Hart shoot it right back in. McCowan has it here. Gave it to Yushkevich. Driving on Kozlov, then to Hendrickson, who has shot it in. The Leafs are changing up. The lone man in is Craig, and now he peels back as the Sharks clear it out. Larry Murphy, cross-ice pass. Gilmore chases it in deep. Roger has him lined up. Muller comes in late, but Nolan is there. It's loose for Yves Racine. Gilmore went to him, partially blocked the pass, now steals it at center ice and shoots it right back in. Not deep, but the Sharks move it up the right wing boards. Coming late on the play is Janney. Greg Janney drops it off. This is Racine. Lets a screen get set, then hit Gilmore with the shot. Gilmore banks it off the boards and outside the line. 2.5 minutes to go. The Leafs are leading by 1. Owen Nolan's pass was blocked by Andreychuk. Nolan got it again. Andreychuk right on his tail, but Nolan is into the Leaf zone and surrounded. Managed to regain control and cleared around the boards. Andreychuk took a swipe at it. Owen Nolan reaching for the puck. Unable to center it cleanly. Up comes Doug Gilmore. Gilmore looks up the right side. There's Andreychuk. Muller with him as they cross the line. The pass didn't work. Back on it here is Racine. Under 2 minutes to go in the third period. On comes Jeff Odgers. Odgers waiting for his teammates. Dumped it in. Tansel races him after it. Yushkevich able to play the puck before he got there. Cora shoots it back in for San Jose. Felix Potvin, a bad exchange for Yushkevich, who recovered nicely but couldn't get it out. Here's a chance for Odgers, and he was checked. Baker's turnaround is blocked. Held in. Sakura up the slot. Checked as he shot it wide. Great pressure now by San Jose. Sakura can't center it cleanly. Tansel gets to it. That hit McCowan. Bounce to Odgers. Sundin on him at center. Baker shot it wide. Puts it out again. Potvin covers and gets the Leafs a little bit of relief.
A little bit of panic setting in the Leaf zone here as they couldn't get control. And look at the opportunity that Baker gets to tie this game up. Kind of the way Jason Daw scored on Saturday to tie the game up. Comes down the pipe, takes a pass from behind the net. Jim Wiley roared in as the third coach in the history of the San Jose Sharks.
A lot of people said, who is Jim Wiley when he was named the interim coach? Most of us, I guess, forgetting that he led the Central Hockey League in scoring one year at 96 points.
And he was the player assistant coach for Tulsa in the Central Hockey League. And I mentioned he was the coach in Kansas City, coached Des Moines Juniors in the United States Junior Hockey League. So he's been around and earned a chance. The Leafs have been going to the net without the puck, and Terreri makes a great play, or he would have had a difficult stop. And that's one thing that the Leafs have done a little more lately, go to the net. There's a lovely pass right there by Kozlov as McCowan bothers Whitney, and Chris Terreri, who's been good tonight and kept the Sharks in this game, is now on the bench, and they have 6 skaters.
Baker will take the face-off. Racine, the only man back. Ansel, Bodger, and Nolan to the right. Janney to the left. Jamie Baker.
A little bit of confusion here, but they finally have the face-off alignment straight. Now remember, they got one more guy to cover. It changes your defensive responsibilities on the draw in your own zone. The other team has their goalie.
They're going to allow Gagne and Baker to take the draw. Baker got it back to the point. Racine cranks one up off Muller's skate. Ansel with it now. Spins it toward the net. Baker was there, and it's cleared, but not out. Long shot here is just wide. Janney tracks it down. In at the Bodger, rips one that's blocked. Delayed penalty call. Scuffle in front of the net. Nolan and McCowan throwing punches.
I think McCowan's going to get an original penalty for knocking Baker down, although I didn't see any signal by Trottier, but a number of punches were being thrown. The San Jose defensemen are playing it smart, staying outside the top of the circle. So the faceoff will remain in the Leafs zone. But it's a tough place to live in front of the net at any time. But when the goalie's out, you got to hold your breath in there because you're not going to stand there and be unopposed. Here it is here. Two Sharks in front. And there's Baker knocking McCowan down, and McCowan went back at Baker. And there could easily be double penalties, and it appears that there's going to be here. Baker's in there, and McCowan's on the way in. So now the goalie will remain out. The faceoff will still be in the Leafs zone. Here's Gilmour trying to get to the point. And when you have an extra man, here it is right here. Jim Thorpe couldn't have got there any faster than Gilmour tried to get there. So the net is still empty at the north end of Maple Leaf Gardens. And it will be 5 skaters against 4 now. As the Leafs now get into kind of a penalty killing situation.
Jim Wiley with some instructions. Murphy went back for a new stick. Gilmour is leaving the ice. It'll be Gagne, Murphy, Muller, and Ellett for the Leafs. 5 on 4. The Leafs short-handed.
The Leafs still cannot ice the puck as they are even-strengthened skaters.
Long shot blocked by Potvin. Came right back to him, and he's able to cover with 51 seconds left.
That's 2 face-offs in a row. They've lost directly to the point. Burns has seen enough, and out goes Gilmour. And he's going to take the draw. Muller, we know, has played a lot of center, so he can go in there. But Janney wins it back. You can't possibly get out when the puck is won that quickly back to the point.
Janney and Gilmour this time. Gilmour reached around Janney and puts it down the ice.
It's going to be icing, but they do get some time off the clock. And
yeah.
I'm sure Gilmour was hoping it wouldn't make it. Right off the draw, Gilmour kind of scrambles the draw a little bit on Janney. Then he steps past him. And as he's falling, he chops it down the ice. So Gilmour makes Coach Pat Burns look good. 2 attempted face-offs in their own end they lost without him out there, and the one and he wins another.
Won it cleanly this time, and Dave Ellett carries it around to the near side, up off the glass. That hit Racine. Gilmour kind of battled for it here. Lost a glove. The puck comes loose. Bodger hard in around the boards. Potvin cuts it off this time. Left it for Ellett. Up the boards and hit Racine. Stays deep in the Leaf zone here. Ellett got it loose. Nolan covering the right point. In deeper to Racine now. Going back of the net is Cancel. Out to Nolan. One shot blocked, and Muller up ahead to Gilmour. Puts it down. It's rolling, rolling. Will it make it? Nope. Nolan got there first.
Gilmour played the last 20 seconds without a glove and had to go out and face the point man with the puck. Well, the Leafs win one. It wasn't an artistic effort by any means, but it was good enough to get 2 points. They outshot the Sharks 41-25 and beat them 4-3.
And the game winner, as it turns out, Matt Sundin's 25th. Wonder if as an Islander fan that gave Kirk Muller that black eye. Guess not, huh? But
No,
would have liked
Matthew Barnaby was his name.
So Jim Wiley's team, the third game of an 8-game road trip, came up just a little short. Your final score, the Leafs 4, Sharks 3, back with the Molson Cup 3-star selection in a moment.
Welcome aboard. Please fasten your seatbelts. Travel time will be 45 minutes. For your utmost comfort and convenience, this vehicle is equipped with quad captain's chairs at no extra charge. Also, this Windstar SE has 4-wheel ABS, dual airbags, air conditioning, and the most powerful engine available in a minivan. Our departure...
Aw, Mom, cut it out.
Upgrade to 96 Windstar Special Edition for just $369 a month with quad captain's chairs. No extra charge at your Ontario Ford and Mercury dealers.
It's out there. Esso Supreme 92 Octane. For a cleaner engine while you drive. A smooth feeling of power. Esso Supreme 92. Unleash the performance. You're on your way. With Esso.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is the Molson Cup 3-star selection from tonight's game. The third star from the Toronto Maple Leafs, Matt Sundin. The second star from the San Jose Sharks, Jeff Rogers. And the first star from the Toronto Maple Leafs, Mike Gartner.
We're joined in studio with Leaf captain Doug Gilmour. Doug, big win for the team, a close finish at the end, however.
Yeah, Matt's got us the fourth goal, and we thought we had a little bit of a lead in the comfort zone, but anytime you're in this game, you never know what's going to happen, so we're fortunate to come out with a win.
You don't want to be in a negative state of mind after a win, but in the second period, it looked like it was how it was during the slump in that Leafs had all kinds of chances and couldn't cash in, and your goal was the spark late in the second period.
Well, before that, I think I missed 2 empty nets, so I'm glad I got that one. Kirk made a great play here just to chip it back and kind of chipped it over in one hand, but, again, got lucky on that one. The other ones I missed, maybe I should have scored.
And this is a tough team. Obviously, they gave you some trouble a week ago in San Jose, and it's a tough team to, even if you're going to get a lot of chances, you're not going to dominate against them most of the time.
No, Terrari's been playing well for him back there to start with, and you really don't get that many chances against him. We had a lot of shots tonight. We did get some chances, but from the reports and the scouting reports that we get, they weren't giving us a lot of chances previous.
All right, Doug, thanks very much for stopping by.
Thanks, Jim.
4-3 the final here, and we will go out in the hallway now and see Jim Ralph talking with Mike Gartner. Ralphie?
Great, thanks, Jim. And Garts, it's now 3 without a loss. Is this a streak?
Well, we haven't lost a game in our last. We've only lost 1 game in our last 5, and I think that's the way we want to look at it. And I mean, Dave Gagne said it well today. I heard him on the radio, and he said that you're never really out of a slump, and you're never really into one. Killer. He played a good game tonight, and he's right. I mean, it's not a matter of you're out of something now and you're into a streak. You have to continue to work at that, and we hope we put together a good streak, but we have to work at it.
Now, what radio station did you listen to Dave Gagne at? No, we'll forget.
We're not allowed to say, are we?
No.
Must have been an FM station, I think.
Now, if you look at maybe the importance of how you won tonight, I mean, this had all the ingredients of how the slump went as far as having all kinds of chances and shots on goal and not being able to pull out a win. The fact that you're able to finally get to Terrari late in the second and carry it into the third has to be as important as the win itself.
Well, it is, and I mean, that game we would lose that game a week and a half ago, and that's exactly what happened. I think we played well enough. We had some lapses. I mean, that first period, Pat said it well. I mean, it wasn't good enough, and we know that, but we're working on that, and we're trying to put together 60 solid minutes. We were able to probably put together 45 or 50 solid minutes tonight, and it was good enough tonight, but we know that that's not going to be good enough on a consistent basis.
Guards, thanks, and we'll see you in Washington Friday.
Good enough.
All right, let's go back to Jim Taddy.
All right, thank you very much. Tonight's 3 stars, Matt Sundin, the number 3 star with the game-winning goal. Jeff Rogers with 2. The second star, Mike Gartner with a double tonight, the number 1 star. Overall, the Molson Cup standings look like this. Felix Potvin leads at 85. Matt Sundin next at 65. Doug Gilmour next at 60. Mike Gartner has 55. Final score tonight, Maple Leafs 4, Sharks 3. We'll be back with more in the post-game show right after this.
Your Toyota needs proper care.
replacement parts have to be the right fit. Some places say they do everything, but they're not using Toyota genuine parts. For the perfect fit, trust Toyota Quality Service. Stay away from parts unknown.
Can we do this one?
How about this one?
It seems everybody's money has to go further these days.
Well, this is one we can do.
So McDonald's introduces 5 extra value meals at $3.89 and break prices on everything from 99-cent hotcakes to 99-cent salads, 79-cent pies, and a lot more. Break prices at McDonald's make your money go a lot further.
Good thing one of us sees the big picture.
Have you had your break today?
Sorry, pal. I need one more goal if this is going to go over. Hey, wrong end, guy.
Over-under is the sports game that's really easy to play. We give you a number, and you predict whether the total score of the two teams will be over or under.
Would you care to dance?
Play over-under. It adds more fun to the action.
Where's my keyboard?
The pain of arthritis and joint stiffness can get the better of many people. So today, there's coated extra strength aspirin with the power to relieve your worst pain right where it hurts. Aspirin, it really knows your pain.
The third period summary brought to you by Valvoline Canada and the Valvoline family of products. People who know use Valvoline. Let's take a look at the scoring summary here. Mike Gartner with his 27th from Sundin and Gagne at 8:03 makes it 3-2. Then Sundin is 25th from Gagne at 12:27 makes it 4-2. Then Odgers with his second of the hockey game from Sikora and Tansel at 12:48, 4-3. That was the final. Shots on goal, Toronto 41, San Jose 25. Now the play of the period, sponsored by Sports Select. It'll be the go-ahead goal at the time by Mike Gartner. First goal of the third period. This makes it 3-2, and this line really did a job tonight. Gagne, Sundin, and Gartner, and the pass goes out front, and Mike Gartner puts it high as he did on the very first goal. He scored some great goals by the Leafs tonight. Final score here, 4-3 Leafs over San Jose. More and Molson Leaf hockey right after this timeout.
Broken Arrow is the #1 movie. Ain't it cool? A sensational supersonic hit. And Joel Siegel says it may be winter, but it's summer at the movies. Travolta, Slater, Broken Arrow, now playing.
Why am I here? Does love exist? Are we merely the playthings of a capricious god? These are the questions that torture my soul.
Boy, do you need a taco. Follow me, Chuckles. Hey, crank up the tunes. I can still hear myself. Zesty flavor, totally crunchy. It's one hell of a good time in here. Hey, looks good on you.
I see a lot of people that put up with scratch lenses. And a scratch lens means they're not seeing properly, and for me, that's a real problem. LensCrafters' new DuraLens can help make that problem go away. This is steel wool on a typical scratch-resistant lens, and this is a DuraLens. No other plastic lens is more scratch-resistant than a DuraLens. Looks great. Only LensCrafters has them, and even these will be ready in about an hour. DuraLenses help me help people see better. I feel really good about that.
LensCrafters, helping people see better, 1 hour at a time. Today, treat your breath to a whole new cool. New Certs Cool Mint Drops. Cool new box, cool mint drops. With a breath-cooling Retsin center. Treat your breath to new Cool Mint Drops. New from Certs.
Wow! Look what we have here.
Just your friendly neighborhood M&Ms. Sit down.
The same M&Ms that come in the bag?
Same ones. Only bigger.
With a colorful shell, just like this?
The actor's catching on.
Rich milk chocolate on the inside?
Yes!
Oh, then I'm really glad you came by.
Why is that?
Because I'm all out. Which one of you is Peanut?
He is. I hear he's delicious. So long, buddy.
Any tea
far as I know, San Jose is still part of the National Hockey League, and they're going to come in and then play the game, that type of game. They were on a good roll lately. They didn't play a bad game in Montreal. From watching the tape, Montreal got 2 empty net goals, but I think San Jose should have won. So it's an important win for us tonight. It puts us in the 60 points anyways, and we have a lot of people crawling up behind us, but we're going to Washington, and Washington's a real good team right now. And if we put together that kind of, I guess you'd call idea in our minds that we're going to slip through Washington, we have another thing coming.
Is the defensive zone coverage something that really concerns you?
We practice it, yes. We practice defensive zone coverage every day.
Right, like your big,
Hey? Concerns every coach.
your big scorers are starting to score the past week, and you're staying with consistent lines. Is that a coincidence there?
We're trying to stay with consistent lines to get things going, and you know, if those big guys are going, we're going to win hockey games. If they're not going, we're not going to win games.
Roger Tansel.
All right, joined in progress, the Pat Burns live press conference now for our Score and Win winners. Celine Castillo of Cache Bay won $300 in MasterCard Travelers check from the Bank of Montreal. Maria Gallego of Pickering has won a GE Spacemaker 2 microwave oven. Also, Lori Bianco of Pickering has won a Texas Instruments personal organizer. And Carla Chavini of East York has won a Mikasa 20-piece dinnerware set. Time now for more gifts. Trip for 2 from Canadian Holidays. Who is the winner? Look and listen.
Tonight, Score and Win grand prize winner will receive a trip for 2 to the Bahamas, where you will spend 4 glorious days on the sun-drenched beaches at the Radisson Cable Beach Casino and Golf Resort, courtesy of Canadian Holidays, Canada's largest vacation company. Tonight's grand prize winner entered Score and Win by using a savings card at a local Dominion. If you would like to be our next lucky winner, just use your savings card at Dominion, A&P, or Miracle Food Mart, and watch the Leafs right here on Global.
4 other games in the NHL tonight. The feature is Florida against Philadelphia. Don Martin can let us know what happened there. Don?
Yes, James, well, it's tightening up now. The Flyers just 6 points behind the Panthers after what transpired at Miami Arena tonight. We'll pick it up less than 3 minutes to go in the first period. Johnny Van Biesbroek goes behind the net, but coughs it up. John LeClaire gets it in front to Dan Quinn, who puts it in the yawning cage. Philadelphia was up 1-0. The Panthers will equalize before the end of the period. Great individual effort by the rookie Ed Jovanovski around Rob DeMeo, then beats Ron Hextall, and the game is tied at 1 after 20 minutes. The Flyers come back for Hexie in this one. It was 2-1 in the second when Anatoly Semenov goes right around Paul Laus. A nice backhand move to beat Johnny Van Bee. 3-1 Philly after 2. Third period, right off the faceoff, Paul Laus gets the puck at the point, fires it past Hexie. It's 3-2, Panthers within 1. But just a few minutes later, the Big E gets the puck. Wrist shot, short side on the Beezer, and that made it the final, 4-2 Philadelphia. We'll have the complete story on Sportsline at 11:30, including the latest Gretzky rumors originating tonight from Buffalo. Right now, back to the Gardens and Jim Taddy.
Thank you, Don. Here's what's going on elsewhere. Boston 3-0 over Hartford. That is the final. Bill Ranford with the shutout there. L.A. against Buffalo. Gretzky did not play due to a hip injury, and Pat LaFontaine tied the game midway through the third. 2-2 the final there. In the first period, nothing going on here. Anaheim and Edmonton. The final score here, 4-3 Toronto over San Jose. We continue on with the postgame show live right after this timeout.
Y'all ready for this?
Meet Happy Gilmore. He was a hockey player.
Don't you ever touch my puck!
Now he's going from the rinks to the links.
Where you want those gloves, Spunk? I'm your caddy.
He's got the swing.
He shoots, he scores!
He's got the drive.
This guy sucks.
He's got the ball.
All right, let's go.
Adam Sandler is Happy Gilmore.
Starts Friday at theaters everywhere.
Great-great-great-grandparents of a Sunfire driver. Pontiac Sunfire, built for drivers.
If you're like me, you know the importance of contributing to your RSP. It's one of the most significant financial decisions any of us can make. And that's why you should consider investing with CI Mutual Funds. At CI, you can choose from a range of 20 Canadian and international funds. And you have the assurance that your RSP will be managed by some of the most respected money managers in the world. Now, your financial advisor knows CI Mutual Funds. All you have to do is ask.
I'll be going out with the guys after the game. My treat.
Seems everybody's money has to go further these days. So McDonald's introduces 5 extra value meals at $3.89. Choose from all your favorites like Big Mac, Quarter Pounder with cheese, McChicken, each with small fries and a drink for $3.89. Get the break you need and the meal you want. 5 meals at $3.89.
Great game, guys. I'm taking you all to McDonald's. Your break today.
Leafs win another game, and an interesting game, a lot of angles to talk about.
Well, it is, and I know Pat Burns may not have been thrilled with the effort totally. I don't really think it was a lack of respect by the Leafs heading into the game. I think it was coming off the game against Pittsburgh on Monday. Sometimes you have a tendency to go out and say, okay, is that the way we're going to play now? And instead of going out and recreating, I guess, the feeling you had on Monday night, sometimes you sort of stand around and wait for somebody else to spark you, and I think the big guys did spark them, Sundin, Gilmore, Gardner.
Bottom line is you come out of it, and as you've said many times, it doesn't matter how. They did win the game. It's a positive to build on. The fact is, when they needed the goal, they got it from Gilmore in the second, and they took it from there in the third.
Well, I still think, too, if you look at, even if you want to throw the Buffalo game into the mix as well, I think if you look at how they scored, even though they'd get the 40 or 50 shots on goal, a lot of times it was thrown at the net and everybody bang away at it. They made some great plays to score goals, and I think that could be a bigger difference between winning right now and losing during the slump. I mean, guys get in the clear and they tuck it upstairs.
It almost looked like Chris Terreri would be the #1 star again. And how many times has that happened? But of the 4 goals, they were all well placed.
Well, that's what I mean. I mean, they all go under the bar on him, and you know, you can't really fault Terreri with the way it ended up. And right now, San Jose is a pretty fragile team as well. But I think they know coming in, they played pretty well defensively against Montreal in their last game. And the Leafs are still fragile. I think there was almost more pressure in this game than there was Monday against Pittsburgh, because now people are going to look and say, all right, is this for real? They lose against San Jose, Pittsburgh becomes a wash.
All right, bottom line is sometimes you get away with what you know you can, and they did that tonight. But they will not have that option Friday night when we join you from Landover, Maryland against the Washington Capitals. Final score here, 4-3. Thanks for allowing us into your homes. Good night from Maple Leaf Gardens. Molson Leaf Hockey on the Global Television Network. Brought to you by Molson Ultra, wickedly smooth beer.
We now join the following program